do we want to get to it?
I'm ready.
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right. We'll start with the question this time. What is your most memorable injury or scar? And for the sake of this, we will discount that time that Nilgrim fully died.
Okay, so wouldn't be falling into lava.
Mhm.
Okay.
You got a new body made from you
Yeah.
by a god.
Yeah.
What about when they ripped Fergus's heart out?
Yeah, I was gonna say that was probably mine. The scar across his heart and stuff.
All right.
Realizing how rarely I've been hit since book 1.
Yeah.
First fight.
That spider rocked your world, and then it was just turtle from then on.
Never again.
I'm sorry, can you repeat the question one more time?
What is your most memorable injury or scar?
Okay.
Like, everyone's taken a few points of damage over the course of the campaign. If you can't remember a specific incident, you can just make something.
I would probably have to say that in book 1, the acolyte of the Drow queen, the Drow leader there, that critted the inflict wounds that could have, like, through massive damage, could have killed my character if you ruled it rules as written.
Yeah, same fight in the tower. I remember the lightning bolts that hit everyone, and I believe took me to 0. But I had nat 20'd right after. So I imagine he's got some lightning web scarring from that along his chest.
If anyone remembers a fight where Freya was brought to 0, that would help. But she has a suit, so it hasn't.
I mean, I feel like Bendrak probably had a few heavy hits against her.
Oh, yeah. Did I fight Bendrak with melee?
Wasn't there a part where that giant statue came alive and like almost crushed you in your suit? Or am I misremembering what that happened? I thought like when we were on that bridge to the forge that got,
Oh yeah, the golem.
That golem that was there, didn't it like just like practically destroy your suit?
I think it did destroy your suit because
my suit's been destroyed a couple of times, so I'm kind of
saying like one of those when it happened when you were inside of it, you could say maybe it had some damage from that. I don't know.
Yeah, what I'm thinking right now is like when we were on that escape from Maladraxxus, maybe cracking open the hatch and getting burns on like the bottom of her hands. But that's
perfectly
that's
fine.
what I got. Unless anyone else can remember a time when she's been like super injured outside of the suit. Yeah, that's my submission.
All right.
Turned in at 11:59.
I believe that just leaves Thrum.
For Thrum, I was thinking his most memorable wound was kind of the world wound, where he had his interaction, the connection, and then just purposefully destroying it. I guess that scarred his brain.
The staff.
Yeah, the staff. I don't remember if it did much damage to him, but I was just thinking more as like a piece of you gets removed part.
Certainly covered your body in rock forever.
Yeah.
Does the psychological wound of being underwater that long count?
He didn't remember any of that.
Okay.
Yeah, he was brainwashed the whole time.
He fell down the far right rabbit hole. He's
still blows snot out of his nose.
What's the conspiracy? QAnon. He's a QAnoner. That's what he was doing under there.
They made Taylor Swift ultra popular like 15 years ago
Where
to
was Thrum
endorse
on
Joe
January
Biden
6th?
today.
Rabble putting chemicals in the water that make us breathe it.
I think whoever Q is, they might be the funniest motherfucker to ever live. Maybe not
What is
moral
this?
funny. It's like, so I guess there was like a person posting, I don't know the actual details, it was maybe completely wrong. I don't know anything about this other than like Facebook memes. But from what I know, there's like an internet forum with a person who is like people thought was posting as Trump, or like people thought was Trump, like posting from inside
Someone
the
on
White
the inside.
House. Yeah, something like that. So they would just post stuff that wasn't true, and everyone would just like do it because they thought it was coming from like a hero inside the Trump administration.
Ultimately,
But it was
what
actually
boiled
just
down to was a lot of "don't worry, do nothing, trust the plan."
the storm is coming, boys. That's what I know. I think John Oliver did something on it.
Yeah,
That might be what I know. But that's a big digression. That was meant to just be a one-off joke, but now we've gone through the whole history of it for our YouTube viewers. So stay informed.
Yes,
I had to
Patriots.
explain it to the old man.
stay informed, but not from the wrong ones. Only the ones that we select for you.
Yes, the ones we agree with.
Yep. And if anyone tells you it's an echo chamber, they're trying to steal your eggs.
That's what I'm saying.
Not my breakfast.
We should probably get back to the game.
Yeah.
Hold on, I'm googling what echo chamber trying to steal your eggs means.
Oh, echo chamber is
I
a
just
Marvel
made that up.
superhero
The
that
echo chamber is an
fires
actual
sound
term,
at
but
you.
me saying
It's nothing you need. Oh, actually, Echo Chamber's an anime character, Cope. You wouldn't want to look up stuff like that.
echo chamber is an actual sociological term, but me saying steal your eggs was just a joke because that's one of those phrases that can mean two different things depending on your gender.
Yeah, I mean it's pretty basic if you think about it for a second. It's just you hear back basically your own viewpoint. That's why it's an echo chamber.
That I'm familiar with, but
Yeah.
stealing the eggs took me for a loop.
That's what we're
All
gonna do. These Sky Giants.
Steal their eggs?
I'm just trying to get back to the game.
Yep,
If
all right.
they're big people, they must have big farm life.
Do you
So
know
we
how
just
many
steal-
birds a giant egg could feed?
Yeah, we just steal their dire chickens, and we have the world's largest omelet bar.
All right. So, last time, the war with the orcs underneath the command of Maldraxxus continued. As reinforcements arrived at Fort Helmengoat, a flanking maneuver was declared, splitting the army into two parts. One to loop around to the north to try to pincer in the orcish forces against Fort Helmengoat's walls. Unfortunately, the orcish army launched an attack first, spearheaded by lava lottles and smoking wagons to cover the troops' advance from the formidable weapons of the dwarven military. The battle was fierce and hard fought, but ultimately the forces of Dammerhall had to abandon Helmengoat in favor of a fighting retreat, still killing quite a few orcs on their way out. I will point out that you guys did successfully kill 1/3 of their air corps, so in one attack, nonetheless.
And our butts handed to us.
So
It was a strategic retreat followed by glorious victory.
the battle was most of the session, and now the army has been split. The only other thing that of note is that Freya has begun seeing visions of Bendrak in reflections, quite separated from when she saw him in the mindscape that Caliburn created. Consulting with the wizard Caliburn himself, he stated that it was not impossible that it was a reaction from having used the crown. Meanwhile, the vision of Benjak himself seems to be urging Freya to take the step to use the Black Iron Army to secure victory for Dammerhall. That was the core of what happened, so I will move you guys back to the main map. Right, so moment here while I get settled in for my intro. We will take a brief step back a couple weeks in time to when Nulgrim's first army arrived at Port Everstein. Oh yeah, I almost forgot. Drow golems have broken through and are now just walking around inside your kingdom. When you first arrive at Port Everstein at the head of your cavalry lines there, Nulgrim, it's been a little while since you were back here. Riding over to the port, you see that a great natural column of stone that was here when you defend this place against the troglodytes has been transformed. You had received reports of what has been called Everstein Bastion. Freya had funneled resources a couple years ago to Clan Forgesworn to build it, and you are now beholding the mastery and majesty of the War Artificers. A massive floor-to-ceiling fortress guards the northern corner of Port Everstein, a monument of dwarven artifice and creation. It is flanked by these statues that are built into function as guard towers, each one modeled after the previous monarchs of Dammerhall. And it looks like they even have one of Fergus, somehow managing to make the eyes of the statue functional arrow slits, while also still conveying Fergus's trademark eye roll. In comparison to Fort in comparison to Fort Helmengott, this is a well-stocked strong point. There's not walls for them to rappel up, and there is siege equipment and runic mortars on multiple different landings all across it. If the orcs come this way, they will not be overcoming this stronghold easily.
Wow, that was a good investment.
Well, they don't need to come this way, do they?
Whatever they need to do.
They just need to go straight through.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so they can subvert this entirely, from what I see.
But at least it's defended.
They can, but then it's at their backs.
Yep.
True.
And if Nulgrim and the First Army need to hang up their hat for a little bit, it is a quite strengthened point. Arriving at the bastion, you were greeted by the various dwarves who are maintaining it for Forgesworn. You received the reports of those drow golems that broke through the checkpoint not too long ago and have been kind of loose within the caverns around here. Latest estimates have only had them at a few dozen. They briefly did stray back towards Port Everstein, but a rigorous reprisal of mortar fire and mounted ballistas saw them scurrying back after they eliminated a couple of their numbers. Many of the dwarven soldiers here are happy to boast about how it is clear that these drowish constructs are far from undefeatable.
Nulgrim will be giving compliments, and basically just almost like he's he wouldn't be hiding his his feelings of being impressed. I think we would probably want to see if we could hunt them down so that they don't continue to run amok in the area.
We have some scouts trying to keep track of their movements. They seem to be heading the southward direction.
Can't be
Damn
having
fool
that.
thing to do. If they think Eversteam Bastion is undefeatable, the gates of Dammerhall themselves will be even more formidable. Drow couldn't get through there for 300 years when the gates were unmanned.
Well, here's hoping that. I mean, I doubt they're going after that. Then they must be just trying to be a pain in our ass. So let's go ahead and sweep up this vermin. He would kind of ask if this bastion's able to keep watch on, the main, like, do they have line of sight on like the pathway coming in here?
As best they can through the darkness. A substantially large force like an Orcish army would absolutely be noticed, but small individual groups. For example, the Drow Golems were only spotted because Thrum had set up those checkpoints at the tunnel mouths.
Right.
A few dozen even large fighters like them could probably slip by just by taking a wide route. But
Okay.
But if it was a massive army, yes, absolutely.
Okay, good. Okay. Yeah, I can't think of anything else to do in character here, just beyond just taking in all the sights and again be very impressed by this surprise. Let's see. But I think good.
Considering sending a missive to Central Dammerhall to ask the Forge Thane what we should do with the remains of the golems that we have destroyed.
That's actually a good call. I think, Storm for now. I'll go ahead and reach out to them, or reach out to her and see if she wants samples. See if she could find anything of value, or at least entertainment of anything that maybe sub quality compared to her standards.
Hey, sub indeed. The things reek since we took them into storage.
Reek?
Yeah, like rot.
Can you show them to me?
They take you to where they have set it aside within Port Eversteam. The remains of this golem, blasted and broken though it is an interesting sight. You can easily see what it would look like when it was completed. 10 feet tall, clearly modeled after a drow woman, but with 2 additional sets of arms, total of 8 limbs, including legs, obvious spider. The limbs look like they had integrated scimitars into them. But the most interesting thing that you're noticing here is that they had to store them in like large barrels used for ale, because it seems like their silvery armor, well, like what you might imagine be like mithril or some really polished steel, is actually running, like it's semi-liquidy. Give me a perception or an investigation. All right. As you are looking over one of the ones that they've opened for you, you see some of this kind of like runny metal. And on one of the broken arms, you catch a slightly ruby glint. Like maybe something fleshy under the metal. As you look at the head, you notice that what was clearly modeled to be like a ceremonial drow woman's face wearing a helmet, some of the metal is running off of it, and you can just see a little bit of bone underneath.
Looks like they're integrating probably their own people into these things. Would I have can I do like a knowledge arcana to kind of see if there's like a existing category of golems that he might be aware of, or is this entirely new?
Sure, give me an arcana. Ooh, big success. good one. Looking over again and probably using a stick to move some of the metal around. Submerged within this semi-liquidy metal helmet of this golem, almost looks like a flayed skull, nerves still intact. As you're looking, you're realizing that you're not seeing any of the trademark runes and of traditional golemancy for animating constructs. You see a few things that magically enhance it, of course, but nowhere near the amount of intensive ingredients created in making golems.
Mm.
You had never seen anything like this until you realized that you actually had only one other time. There's only one other golem that operates via a person rather than magical runes. And that's Freya's suits.
Yes. Okay. Yeah.
Between your high investigation and your arcana, it looks like someone has been surgically implanting humanoids into golems to serve as the nerve center of them.
Is it fully integrated, as in once it's done that there's no extracting?
With those high ones, and now once you put it together, look at it a little bit more, say Freya some time. The proportions of it are way longer. It looks like someone had literally taken someone and I'm trying to think of the right words, stretched them out without skin, so that way the nerves went all the way down to the fingers. Full integration. It's not something you slide in and out of. They have been, for lack of a better term, cannibalized and integrated with the artifice.
Basically turned as the mechanics.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see something. Would there be any way of knowing if their mind is still intact as far as who they were before going into it, or if it is more
I feel
optimized?
like at this point, this particular one was blasted to shit with mortars. Maybe someone who specializes in artifice like Freya might be able to get an answer, but I feel like less of a character sheet thing and more of like a skill set thing. You're working with damaged goods right now, and you don't specialize in this stuff as much, so I feel like that would be a inconclusive answer.
Okay. Trying to recall if I have any way of communicating with the others, because I had a direct connection to Freya, didn't I?
This is a slight flashback, because at the end of last session we were saying how you'd use stuff to teleport around. So I was just establishing this little detail, and then we can flash forward again.
Okay, perfect. Then yeah, he would definitely be taking those remains and bring them to Freya's attention.
Yeah, so we can flash forward another couple weeks in time. The Second Army has taken cover near the Animantine mine. God knows what the Orcish army is doing within the cut-off territories. As far as you know, the Drow golems are somewhere in that location, and the First Army is still in Everstein Bastion. But via the help of Fergus's own Axe of the Dwarven Lords and some teleportation from Caliburg, you have all reunited in Dammerhall Palace in the Council Room of Idiots.
Not our best season.
Can I ask a question really quick?
Absolutely.
Before we get to the Council of Idiots. So I feel this might be important for us to know, at least out of character going forward. How inherently evil are the Drow and Orcs in this setting? Is it a Paarthurnax situation where they're inherently evil, but through great will can overcome that evil and become good, or is it Are they just people? I feel like that's important if we're gonna go about like slaughtering these guys by the dozens.
Add a character for me. I'm always a fan of the classically like Lord of the Rings-esque marauder orcs. Like maybe, with like you said, with great will, they can make active choices. For Drow, I always viewed it more of like the society itself is abusive relationship. Hurt people hurt people. That's how I have always kind of pictured it in my head.
So the Drow are a little bit more.
Yeah,
it's a society thing than they're just an inherently evil.
Yeah, because they did much like the Daragar, they separated from surface elves at a notable point in history.
Maybe we should talk about this just a little bit as an aside, because they did release that new orc stuff in D&D, where they made the orcs Mexican.
What?
Yeah.
That's what everyone said.
The new orcs in D&D are coded as like Latin American, I think, from the art. They just dropped like one art picture that people are talking about.
That's a choice.
I'm playing orcs a little closer to their Tolkien roots as my thing. I'm a bit.
And I'm fine with that.
Yeah,
I just want
getting into it. I've been really in love with like classic D&D. Like if I had known it now, I would have made them the pig-faced orcs because I just really dig the art of those. I feel like they have such personality.
But... Yeah, that's a. I say it's unique, but it's just really the older version of it. But I really like it too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I like the idea of playing with the pig orcs more than like normal orcs lately.
It creates a darker universe because, there's a reason D&D, half orcs are the playable race, and that's because I think they are evil. They are evil. It's just when they are born, they come out and they are evil. And maybe, in your game or whatever, there can be one that is good through what we were talking about. But
yeah,
I'm okay with both things.
Yeah, that's always a weird thing. Like I remember reading the Drizzt Do'Urden books. The first 2 books in the series are just all in Drow society, which is super interesting. But I do admit, it kind of fucking rubs me the wrong way that he just popped out of his mom's vagina a virtuous person. And that's the explanation why. Like, I totally get the idea that, like, you come into the world like a blank slate and then just via abuse and bullying, your compromise after compromise, you slowly become something else,
Yeah.
There's a recent bit of Warhammer 40k lore. We're really off topic here. There's a bit of 40k lore that stated that Dark Eldar children do not inherently enjoy the suffering of other people. They have to learn it as they grow up, which is interesting and also just pitch black dark.
What? That's worse.
Yeah,
it's worse if they're
so much worse.
Blank slates and they learn to be evil.
Yeah, there's blank slate is.
Yeah, it's
not 100%, but
not 100%. I do believe in some inherent personality, but I just, what I mean, though.
Yeah, no, it's definitely the question's always what the mix is of nature to nurture, and it's probably closer to 50-50 than not, but
yeah.
Environment definitely does play a lot, and culturally, the Drow have always been not quite as bad as the Dark Eldar get, but bad.
Yeah, but for context for this setting, in Calibur's adventuring party with Bendrak, they were good friends with Firana, who was a Drow cleric. So,
yeah, that's basically all I was asking. I don't think we need to spend any more time on that, but it's good to know going forward. Orcs, more just inherently evil. We don't have to worry as much about them. We can maybe give Drows more of a chance to run away or whatever.
I'm just a fan of the classic marauding orcs. I don't apologize for it. I just like it. It's fun.
No, I don't think you should. Absolutely not.
Yeah.
Honestly, I feel like the solution to the orc thing shouldn't have been to make them Mexican. It should have just been to make them a monstrosity or something else. I think monstrosities might necessitate alien biology in D&D. But making them something other than humanoids, that would be better.
I do like it. In the Shadow of the Dragon Queen Dragonlance adventure, they had a special bit where they just directly called it out with Draconians, which are like their equivalent of dragon orcs, where they're like, Draconians are a manifestation of an evil god's will. They are essentially thinking arrows.
Pseudo avatars.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's like Tolkien orcs. They're not humans. They're semi-sentient murder machines.
Yes.
Tolkien himself went back and forth on it because since he was a Christian, he had believed in redemption, but at the same time, the orcs, it was a question that bugged him a lot.
Yeah, I heard that he had briefly considered making like an orc character for a redemption story, but then he just thought the cast of characters would be too bloated. Which I respect the artistic conviction on that one for just making.
I understand from his religious perspective, but I think they are better as just the personifications of evil in its universe. It's not like Lord of the Rings is super subtle, and it's
right.
It is like stereotypical fairy tale. The light must overcome the dark.
Yeah, nothing's wrong with that. I mean, wizards
evil
are angels.
Always or good always prevails over evil.
Yeah, it's he was setting out to create a mythology, so he accomplished that.
Yeah. But let's get to killing these fucking orcs.
Yeah.
By the bushel.
Mini library RP resolved. You're back at the meeting hall. Nolgrim is free to bring up the information that was resolved in that flashback as he sees fit.
Yeah, Nolgrim would, and he would have tried to bring the remains of one of the constructs with him. So these are what is roaming around Forge-Worn lands. Haven't really seen it in much combat action beyond them tearing through the picket line of our guards before they entered the territory, but mortar fire managed to lay these low as they got too close to the bastion there. Which, Freya, gotta say, very impressed with the work you invested there.
Yes, I remember I did that.
I wonder what they seek to gain by doing this. Perhaps more intelligence? Just a basic construct?
Oh, not a basic construct. They're integrated. It's a person became this, and it's the person is the core of this thing. Yeah.
They've seemed to have missed the whole point.
Mm-hmm. They just didn't care about who was in it.
Well, they're clearly aping my design, so you'd think they'd follow at least a few of my philosophies.
I don't know. Have you ever left any of your suits behind that they might have gotten their hands on recently? Like, well, recently I say, but like during our travels.
I feel like over the course of the adventure, it's broken a couple of times. They don't know how many of those times we've had to abandon it.
Like,
at least once, I think.
I had to abandon one, and when we were in the the one where I got my heart ripped out in. Like, you didn't leave one back there, did you?
Would I be able to? Do we have this sample with us that I could look at?
Yeah, he was able to bring. I'll say he was able to bring one of them.
All right, can I do a roll to see if this looks like someone is like inferring? Because I have a pretty good investigation skill.
Seeing if the joke is more on the mark.
Investigation or Arcana. There's a wide range of skills here that can apply to this.
Would she be at advantage since it's very much her wheelhouse?
Yeah, with advantage.
21.
All right. What was the exact information you were wanting to get with this one roll?
I want to see how closely, like, it looks like they mimicked my design.
All right. So with a 21, obviously your suits are meant to be sat inside with like a cockpit situation.
Yes.
What you are noticing here with this investigation, doing hours in your workshop looking at it, is there's definitely echoes of your design. Your designs work more upon runic magic to control the various locomotions of the golem. This looks like this is a cross section between alchemy and biology. While it does still have some magic runes involved, because of course it is magical, it looks like it's relying a little bit more on the physical science, implying whoever designed it maybe is not as well versed in magic side of artifice like you are. But it definitely carries the echo of your design. Because much like your centurions and gladiators, these would probably be easier to make than full golems, because that's always the tricky part of the golems is the thinking bit. The thought, the reasons, the following orders, pathfinding, robot crap. So much like how you substitute a pilot in for that to enhance the pilot, this seems like it is taking a kind of slightly butchered person and integrating them in with the metal to form the thinking component. Probably why there's a force of dozens of them that was just blindly shot into your territory.
So
Looking at the runes, just really
Mhm.
quick, I want to see if they look like they are drow adaptations of dwarven runes, or if they are drow in origin originally.
Give me a Arcana at advantage.
Okay. So this will tell me if they had a suit to copy from, basically.
Mhm. All right. All right. With a 25, this looks like drow ruins in origin, so it would be that they doesn't look like they've directly one-to-one copied your work, but they've copied a concept of it.
Yeah. They've seen it, but they don't.
Mhm.
I would bring that up in the meeting. So they've probably seen the suit, but they haven't necessarily had. Based on the design, I can't say that they've recovered a version of it and copied directly from my design.
Let me see. You will reveal another piece of information with this. I'm just gonna make sure I get the right bit of information to tell you. 1 second.
While you're doing that, Nolgrim would ask, given how the body is integrated into the suit, or that, is it vulnerable to mental magics? Is it? I know some golems, don't have minds to control, for example, but would these qualify as a people in the sense of, magics that could hold them in place?
All right, hold on 1 second. So before we roll to see if that question is answered, you do notice one other thing with your examination between your two rolls there, Freya, is
Okay.
chiseled into the skull, the actual bone organic skull underneath. There is a craftsman mark, like blacksmiths put on their work.
Yeah. This thing I always ask you about when we find a weapon laying around.
Exactly. That's why I prepared this. This one, it kind of looks like a long serpent-like reptile dragon with wings that kind of has a collar with a chain attached to it, and it's integrated with a drow version of the character for Z.
Okay, I would relay that information to the rest of the party.
Have we ever come across a drow that has Z in their name? I haven't come across too many drow.
I feel like
What's the queen's name? Trying to think of drow that we know. Do we know the queen's name? Queen head drow
Nolgrim
lady.
has it in his book.
Oh, there we
It'll
go.
be faster than me looking it up in my notes.
All right. You said Z?
Yeah.
Mhm.
I'm just throwing out possible candidates. I don't really think it's the queen.
I'm not seeing a Z in my. X.
Then it's not that lady.
Yeah.
Who's
If she's the queen,
Thrum's
I doubt she'd be
girlfriend?
crafting things herself. And that was like, was it Hestia that was the
Hestia.
Yeah, so.
Yeah.
And then who is? I feel like we met at least one or two more drow. Who was the traitor? What was his name? I'll say Xander. Just my sources. I made it the fuck up. I don't remember his name actually.
Which one?
Fuck.
Oh, the
merchant
the
that we
merchant
didn't
dude.
like.
Oh, that was his last name. Let me hold on. I actually yeah, his name was. I can check my notes here. Brazier Jezavon starts with a B.
Maybe it's not a person. Maybe it's this Drow City Fort Zvar land.
That's a good theory. Can you point it out on the map?
Far left.
Far left. Oh, there it is. Fort Zavar Lair. Zavar Lair. We're gonna go with Zavar Lair.
Joke's on you. It's actually Fort Fred. All the letters are decorative, just like French.
No, it's fucking drow.
Anyone who wants to, you think that you would have studied any information in the Dwarven archives, give me a history.
Behind what specifically?
The just looking at the crafter's mark.
Z.
Oh.
Yeah, the crafter, the maker's mark.
We'll go be down
History, I got a
to time with the library.
Ooh.
Taskell's well-established hatred of drow.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll say, just because the natural 20 makes it good dramatic, seeing probably like some pencil scratches of that symbol, while the Z still doesn't mean anything to you, the symbol, you've heard reports of that is the emblem of House Vakazar. I'll type that in. And you have heard of them because they are famous drow that's focused in slavery.
Like
First of all, that's stupid. Doesn't start with a Z. Two. Well, these are definitely slaves in here, aren't they?
I mean, yeah, it doesn't narrow it down much. It's the drow. It's like saying they breathe air and eat food.
Just giving you guys some info.
Looks like we got to attack the Vac.
Or at least they're attacking us.
Kavana Vakazar of House Vakazar was the wizard we took out of Abelis' place. Boom. Coke takes
correct.
Notes.
This is correct.
She's the one we pissed off, right? Like, because
the one that you shot us, she flew away.
Yeah.
Look, we offered the redemption arc. She didn't want any part of it.
Like I told y'all, we should have killed her.
Hey, probably.
It's probably not her. She's been underwater for how.
She specifically said she would come back and kill us all.
Yeah, that's at least a reason for them to be as aggressive as they are.
Mm.
Are you learning from this, Fergus?
Huh?
So
I'm
what-
not listening. What?
I want to believe that happened. in
Yeah, go take a
character.
long walk.
No, it
off a
wasn't
short-
character.
Council of idiots are bitching and moaning about her drow, and Fergus is just like, "What? Huh?
Sorry, I just got this sketch of Port Everstein Bastion. Am I really that handsome?
No. They've exaggerated. They've taken many liberties.
So what's the plan as far as the war that's going on?
Well, we've got to drive out those orcs, but we've also got to draw around down here.
Yeah, our army's in need of some new recruits to combat how much that they have. We should probably reinforce the pathway coming from Shale Brew's territory. Because it looks like Port Everstein is pretty defended from what you were saying.
Out of curiosity, do we want to try to tunnel away to Hallforge so that they're not cornered?
Yeah, if we had managed to hold Helmet Goat, it would have been an option, but as it is,
We don't really want to give them
Try
another
it
path to
out.
get to us, really, if we try to dig through.
There. All right.
Well, after we drive at least this first
Oh.
wave out, I've got an idea for maybe setting up some plumbing in here, and
Although,
so we can flood some of these tunnels and drive them into play areas we want. But for this battle, I'm not sure what we're gonna do.
so
Man, I'm
out
glad
of
you went-
curiosity, would it be the worst if we were to draw or to tunnel through here where we'd create a three-way hub so it's not like they come from any more direction?
I mean, that'll probably
I
be
think
for the
that's-
future, but I'm not sure if we'll be able to
Yeah.
handle that right now.
Okay, that's fair. I'm just
that's
worried about the
where
people.
the army
I'm
was.
worried about Hallforge. But
Yeah.
yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
Oh.
it's definitely we want to try to save the people, but
Mm.
we also don't want to put all these resources into doing that when we still have the army to
Yeah.
contend with.
You're right. All right. So I am definitely going to be recruiting some major troops to push back against that army.
Yep.
I've heard you've come up with sloops. Are they airships, Freya?
Yes, I haven't seen how they'd be helpful in more confined spaces, but if you think they'd be useful,
I
we
mean,
can
we
manufacture
saw-
more.
The winged, from all reports, the aerial support that the army had gave them a distinct advantage. I don't know if
Okay.
that's something we want to at least have to match so that they don't have the only aerial troops.
Yeah, I'll invest in one of my actions and making some sloops.
I mean, I could oversee it if you give me some guidance, and I mean, if you'd like me to use my action to, because I'm planning to train up troops, and that's kind of the
Yeah,
direction I'm
that's
looking at.
If that's what you want to do, go ahead.
Yeah. And plus the ability to move troops. Are those things? How fast are those things?
I believe they're cavalry fast.
Yeah. So that's a nice. Yeah, that's a nice troop mover.
Also, I think making some more hammer elites will be a good option as well.
Yeah, for sure. So what is the plan? Do we push back in Helmengard after we have a season to regroup, or season or two to regroup?
if they'll give us that long.
Right now, we have our divine army divided between the two in case which way they go. We have at least some occupying force.
I'm thinking of taking the Kelver we have to try to break the remaining drow automatons there. Feel like it'll be problematic just to let them run amok.
Especially if they dive deeper into our territory.
Exactly.
I might help Sheilbrew fortify their lands. The Forge Sworn apparently have their defenses well in hand. Hopefully they're provisioned. we may want to divert some extra provisions to that fort, as it may become an important bastion.
They're the only ones with access to the ocean.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but it sounds like. Well, did they throw up city walls at least?
Yeah, I have a map for it. Essentially, they have imagine it like a square. So the bottom left corner is the port, and the upper right corner is the bastion, and then they got walls around the city in between the two there. So you have to kind of scooch past the bastion to reach those walls.
That's good. Shit.
Yeah, whenever you guys want, we can always go into Kingdom actions. So
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm just getting my
sounds like-
stuff
Yep.
ready basically right now.
Yeah.
yeah, just so you guys know, I have a list of all your ongoing projects. You got Hammer Elites at 2d10, Clerics at 2d4, a group of Centurions at 2d4, and
Hammer Elite at 2d10? I thought those were 2d8 troops.
I'm just looking at what I have written down
Okay.
here. If they are 2d8 troops, then I might just put them down. Yeah, sorry, those should be a 2d8. So, but these are just what you already had on the board.
Yeah.
But like Clerics and Centurions are at 2d4, so they're nearly done.
Yeah.
What do I have? I have a golem. I'm working on. Centurions. Yeah, so I'll ask everyone else. Do you want to invest more into the Centurions, or do we want me to divide it between Centurions and making more sloops?
I mean, I could. It sounds like the Centurions are almost done, so it would probably be good to divide up your efforts.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's what I'll do. How do you break up the 1d10 gumbo?
You would one of your rolls you'd add a d6 to for yourself, and the other one you'd add a d4 to for yourself.
All right, thank you.
No problem.
D6 and fuck the Golem Foundry is a D12. Okay.
This is going to be a 2d4 for me, plus a 2d4 for your economic stress.
Wait,
We'll
2d4 for
use-
economic, or would that be 1d4?
Oh, sorry, an additional d4. I just missed.
Okay. Like, oh, I forgot how the stresses work. Oh God, they're doubled.
No.
Tech knowledge. Heart of the mountain. These are the ones that are almost done, so.
Yeah, it's going to be a pretty easy roll. You don't even need to bother choosing a kicker, because if you succeed, really if you get a total result higher than 8, I won't even bother rolling, because there's no way you can fail.
5. Okay. I could put one more of these on here, but I think I want to dedicate more of that to the new unit. So this will be my roll for the first one.
Okay. That's an 11 right there, just from the Golem Foundry without looking at anything else, so I won't even bother rolling. Well, bam. More Centurions.
All right. And then the other one is a D4.
What's this dex roll for?
Next roll is for sloops.
Sloops. You got it.
Yeah.
Sloops are...
Shale brew. Didn't use the Forge District last time, so I'll use it now. Didn't use the Heart of the Mountain last time, so I use it now. Did I use the college? No, so I use it now.
Oh.
And I use the gym knowledge, not the gym mine. Okay. Yeah, I saved it for a good roll on this one. And that's for sloops.
All right. So pick the 2 dice you add together, and for the kicker, because this is 2d8 difficulty plus a d4 for economic and a d8 for political stress. So it's 3d8 plus 4 is what I'm going to roll.
So it looks like 15 with the D10 kicker.
Yeah.
All right. So if you succeed, you'll just get your sloops. That's definitely a success.
Mhm.
So
Woo!
give me a moment while I pop over to the other screen to get your sky sloops.
Look at the military industrial complex I've created. We should start selling these weapons to our allies.
That was the whole joke I made about with Fort Swarm coming to you about the freelings. Like, what if we radicalize them against the Drow and start supplying them weapons?
I'm liking it. I'm liking it more and more every day. However, I feel really goody two shoes in this campaign, and I feel bad about sending the slaves to go die. So they get to live another day.
All right.
Hopefully the runners reached Flagstone. Warned those people in Oz. I distinctly remember thinking about doing that last time, but I forget if I said it aloud.
It seems it slipped my mind.
Yeah.
Sorry, Freely.
All
But
right.
yeah.
So that's Freya. Very productive. Tentarians and Sky Sloops on tap.
Just
What other troops do you say were partially in progress?
Clerics at 2d4.
Clerics and weren't there some? Oh, you said something about
Yeah, Hammer
elite-
Elites, that's 2d8,
Elites.
but that they're already just baseline 2d8.
Yeah.
I don't know why I wrote that
Okay.
down.
Yeah.
This was me from like a month ago, so
That's been quite that long, but
it has been quite that long since we were doing some kingdom actions because we were doing
Oh, yeah.
multiple right?
yeah, that's right. The last two sessions were basically Helm and Goat Siege. Trying to decide what to do for my action, but
I know what I want to do, but I just need help on what I should use for the assets and such.
well, that's 10 d6 kicker towards the clerics, so I imagine
Yeah.
they're done.
Yep, just let me. I'll roll it because this is going to be adding the d8 from political stress, but not from economic. So they're probably done. I just want to make sure. Yeah, you good. I'll get you more clerics. So are you saying what you want to do, Richard?
Yeah, I wanted to work on making some more scouts as well as a unit of hammer elites, but I have.
I could make Hammer Elite since looks like Freya took over the sloops.
I figure we could both do it and have more.
Yes,
Okay,
you can
I'm down
both
for
do
that.
it.
Or we
I-
could have more sloops.
That or I was thinking either of them or make more quarreler so we have more ranged options.
Sure.
The only other golem design I have were those ones with the bows, and I didn't think they were terribly useful last time we had the fight.
Yeah, their strength is that they're just way more durable than the quarrelers. Like they were in the back line, but they have much higher AC and HP, so they're able to get stuck in a little bit more.
Yeah.
But
I think I will. Well, I'll wait for Richard to get back, but I think I'll
I'm
go.
here, sorry.
Okay. I'm thinking because the 2d10 is a pretty difficult one to get. I would say you could either one of us should focus our action on that, and the other could do Hammerly and Quarrelers, or just stick with Hammerly just to help ensure we get it. What's your thought?
Well, I was doing one of the specialized unit forces and then the hammer release, but I was thinking maybe I could do Quarrelers since they're more basic unit, and
Okay.
then try to get the special unit.
Okay, but I'm just saying. So
I
are
was
you
going to do 2 basic
I was gonna
units
do 2
to
actions.
just try and get more.
okay?
Yeah,
Are
just
you
trying
gonna
to
do your
up the
scouts?
chance of getting more units, but I
Yeah,
also try and
Both Defenders and Quarrelers are 2d4 difficulty, so it's very easy just to crank one
yeah.
out in a single.
that's
so I can just crank out a Quarreler then. And
the two.
my question was, what would I use for resources to do? Because I have myself. I figured dwarven population since I'm making dwarven units. The Hearthstone Military Academy.
Yeah, you probably use Might for just basic infantry training. Examples are the Forge District, the Hearthstone Military Academy. If you want to expend a D4, the last D12 on your weapon stockpile.
No, I would say we may want to save weapon stockpile for the finances at the end of the year, because this is going to get expensive.
Yes, we'll
So
at
let's
the
be
end of
clear,
the-
we are selling our weapons.
Or save it for an urgent rainy day.
The only thing else I could think to use is when I'm making the special force unit, the Iron Cloak Scouts, is utilizing the Adventurers Guild to pull some people from that.
Yeah, definitely.
I'll
For
go
the
ahead and
Iron Cloak
start.
Scouts, I would say you could use the Adventuring Guild and maybe the Hellspit Privateers.
Yeah, I can do that, but this is the first roll for these are for the Quarrelers.
Yeah. All right, so let me roll this here. 2d4 base, and then an additional d4.
So 15, I think I got, because I choose 2, right?
Yep. And the highest there is 9, and we don't even need to bother with kickers, so you get your Quarrelers.
Gotcha. Let me just type up the other 2. Ooh, bad rolls.
All right.
Probably utilizing my roll in the might and using Hellspit as a kicker if it somehow works.
All right, so 2d10 plus d4 for economic, plus a d8 for political stress. That's 17.
Yeah, it's not gonna.
Yeah,
not even gonna make anything close.
Progress is ongoing with those special forces troops.
So I figured what I'm gonna do with the other.
Yeah.
D6 of my action. Try and get that political stress down a bit so that, more on war footing. Let's see, I got my D6 remaining. Influence. I think I can finagle dwarven population since we're being attacked by orcs and maybe capital too.
By stoking dwarven ancestral aggression, I definitely see how that's usable in this instance. Go for that.
So I have thinking of getting the temples to, kind of spread the unification message, but that's a question for you as to if they'd be part of the problem.
I would definitely say you could certainly use the fire temple because they're the most war-footing one. I'm trying to remember where we last left the politics of the temples. Yeah, I'd say you could use fire and mountain. The ancestral temple is probably a little contrarian right now.
Anyone else got a thought on what to do for political stress?
I can't think of anything beyond that.
I mean, it's a one-time use, but you could use that shale brew blackmail.
That
Hell,
would be nice,
I mean-
especially if it rolled low and was the kicker. And it's
I mean,
Yeah,
Since my
firing
plan,
is wrong.
since my plan is now to merge it with Loki's, I don't see why I don't really have a plan for it anymore.
Well, I would, I think, save the weapon stockpile for something that, in case we need like a
Yeah. Also,
more urgent thing.
just for context for this stress one, I am rolling just a flat 2d8, and if you beat it, then it reduces by 1 step. It's not a kicker thing.
Yeah.
So just for your own calculations there.
Yeah.
I'm
Let's
saying
take-
yes. Use
let's
the
keep
shield
the-
for blackmail.
Yeah. Let's
Okay.
save the D12 as a kicker as well.
All right.
I think that's probably where it'll be best used right now.
Mhm. Yeah.
12. D12. Let's see where they roll. Yeah, it rolled well, so it's at least not gonna be a kicker. Looks like 17 with a
Yep, you succeed.
Yep.
The
Decent.
Shellbrew blackmail is gone, but I will reduce that stress by 1 step.
Hmm.
Bam.
And
What was
I will
that shell
get to
brew
the-
blackmail before previously? I remember that.
It's
to just improve the strength of my organization.
Gotcha.
yep. Just trying to strengthen some political ties before the war broke out.
Gotcha.
But since I'm basically going to be getting the same effect by merging ours when we have a little bit of peacetime to do that.
Yeah.
So I do still plan to do that, but getting more troops out is more important right now.
Yeah. I will focus on training hammer elites, and I think I'll just go ahead and use my full action for that.
All right.
remember Helm and Goat.
All right.
Remember Fort Helm Goat!
Remember the Gotomo.
Dwarf population.
Yeah.
It is hammer elite specifically.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. That's what I was just thinking about.
Yep.
So
Yep.
2d8. It will be the d8 of political stress until the end of the season because technically it'll take hold.
Yep.
But
Forge district.
yeah, definitely. Yeah,
Alright.
that's what was formerly called the Forge Fanes because it's a cool word, Fanes, but everyone kept forgetting what Fanes meant, so I just renamed it Forge District.
Yeah, there you go.
I like those $5 words. What can I say?
What's the heart of the mountain?
I don't know if that's going to be super useful here. That is like the magical fuel source at the
Okay.
center of Dammerhall.
I got you. Okay. Yeah, we don't really have mechanized
Yeah,
stuff like that.
Forge
All right.
District makes sense because you're making heavy armor. But...
Yeah. All right, let's try that.
Remember Fort Helm Goat.
All right. What's your selections? What's your kicker before I roll?
Remind me if I used a D8 kicker and I was successful, would I get the troops?
Yeah, you just get the troops.
Okay, then I'll go with 13 with the D8 kicker.
All right. Let's
Wait,
see
no, 14 with the D8 kicker.
Okay.
I'm curious what
And
that
I-
song AI would spit out for that.
I will experiment later for you, Kenneth.
Oh,
It
Yep,
does
you
need to be done.
you get your hammer.
Remember Fort Helm Goat, where they killed Davy Cragrock, evil drow Santiani.
All right. There's your hammer elites unit.
Damn it, I can't remember the name of my dwarf that I made my dwarf holiday after that we celebrate all dwarves
Oh,
named.
I got it written down. All my notebooks are falling.
Oh God, that's how we lose Gombo.
Calm
Avalanche
down.
of notebooks.
Buried under DM notes.
Valentine's Day. So it's Ballin.
Yes, and Balin was also it.
Isn't that a dwarf in Lord of the Rings?
Yes. But it's also funny because looking at this, it's Valentine's Day and then Taskell, the Feast of the Hero Brogan.
I like that. I like that we just have two holidays named after heroes we never talk about.
Yeah, that we have literally established no other lore. That's actually that's what do they call that in writing? Cow tools?
I know the famous comic.
Laziness?
Yeah, it's just because the comic, it's just it looks like tools, so we assume it. So sometimes in world building, if you imply there's more history, the writer will fill it in themselves.
Mhm.
Oh wow! I had never actually the meme with cow tools and like the comic is that like nobody who ever fucking read that shit actually understood what it means. It's like a
I
fucking
think the author has said he has no idea what it is. It's just a deadline.
Yeah.
that's like the meme with cow tools. It's like a meaningless piece of art. So it's funny that you've just described it meaning.
Mhm.
But I like it. I like it.
All right. So that is Nulgrim. I believe that just leaves Thrum's actions left.
He's going to try and create quarrelers. I can't say that word. And
You got it?
the dwarven defenders.
Awesome.
So splitting his action.
Right. So
10 with the D8 kicker.
all right. So long as this rolls lower than 10, which it did, that's a 9. So you get your quarrelers. Or which one were you prioritizing first? Quarrelers or defenders? It's the same roll either way.
Quarrelers, I guess.
Okay.
Then bad rolls.
All right. Same roll again for me.
Yep, 7 with a D8 kicker.
9. So your defenders are not ready to field yet. Still training them up.
Okay. Actually, can I switch that and go with defenders?
Yeah, sure. I don't give a shit.
And say the quarrelers didn't make it. I feel like we need more bodies at this point.
We need to start making custom thumbnails so the thumbnail for this video can be cow tools, but all the cows have our characters' heads on them.
Yeah, get on it, Kenneth.
No, I'll just make it and send in the Skype chat later.
Mm-hmm. All right.
You gotta pay us for that one, guys. Telling you right now. If you pay us $10, I will send you that picture. That I give you my word. Anyways.
All right. Let's end the season here. Can someone count up the total number of military units for me? While I multitask my records.
I think 21.
I feel okay.
All
Next
right.
time we should probably have someone
Did
say
you-
that they're doing.
I was saying it, but I was muted until I said something out loud.
Oh, gotcha.
All right. So that means
bad.
the army upkeep will go up by 1, which means the budget will become 17. Good.
Money.
Oh, yes, I forget about all these dwarves riding.
What's the next
Zeppelins.
threshold?
It would be, let's see, you're at 21, so it would be after your 25th unit will cause it to rise.
Good to know.
Also, everyone is going to have some passive healing. Should be +6 to everything, because that's what your might die size is. You can also manually heal, where you can just take an action to fully top off a unit.
Yeah, can we have our clerics start healing people?
Well, this is like retraining and resupplying. They're not actually sitting around wounded for half
Yeah.
a year. But I wrote the rules for some passive healing, which is just I'm adding might die, so 6 to each unit. So like for your runic mortars, you automatically topped off, and then your quarrelers and stuff are healing up a little bit over time.
All my units are good.
Yeah.
So, like, we could take one of our actions to say refill the quarrelers from 51 to 100.
Correct. No rolls necessary. It just automatically goes.
Got it.
We haven't had Ivy take an action, right?
Oh yeah. Thanks. Good for reminding me, Ivy.
Because I was just gonna say we should probably have her investigate where the orcs might be heading towards to see if she can get a sense on which direction
that
they're going
sounds
to be
good to
taking.
me.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not sure what actions that would be requiring. So
Battlefield scouting.
would that be might too?
Yeah,
Or would this be
might.
or this be an action like where I have to roll, or would it just take her action to do it for the time?
No, this would definitely be a roll, I would say. Let's call that might plus Ivy. Anything else you guys think? Probably like adventures could help.
Yeah.
Let you know right now it's just going to be difficulty 3d6.
Dwarf spying.
That's only for if you're spying on the internal dwarven government.
Maybe Forgesworn, since they're right nearby, we can utilize some of their units as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
How about the deep moose herds? You could ride out there on a moose.
I thought that was blocked off right
That
now.
might be stretching it.
No, you got deep moose herd. You don't have the access to the goats.
Okay. Oh yeah, that's why it was Helm and Goat.
Mhm.
And I can't utilize the Dwarven Spy Ring for this, right?
No, that's for spying on the government. I guess I
thought
should
so.
just do it this way instead. Hold on.
Spy on the Ring of Dwarves.
Or the DFBI, the Dwarven Federal Bureau of Investigation.
There we go.
Okay. So yeah, I have her, the Might, Forgesworn, the Adventurers Guild.
All right. No kickers necessary. This is a
Hold on, I accidentally used the wrong brackets for that last one. Oh,
All right.
So that's an 11.
So if I roll under an 11 here, you just automatically succeed, and I did.
Trying to get
Alright.
understanding their movements a bit more than anything.
Yes. Yep. It looks like the forces at Fort Helmengoat are leaving a vanguard, but many of them seem to be pulling back and heading to the east. Most likely to the tunnels down to the Hall Forge territory with the gem mines.
Gotcha. So honestly, it might be good to start making a push next season, see if we
I
can
agree.
get their vanguard while they're a bit distracted.
Yeah. And then
And we can
Have
have
them
like
cornered.
one army go to the north like we had planned originally last time.
Mhm.
And between communications and stuff that we can have with clerics, we can determine when to strike where one person... Sorry. The fucking box keeps popping up with the arrows.
Mhm.
Go through here at the same time. We're pushing against them in their now claimed Helm Goat. And try to pincer off
Wasn't Home and Goat destroyed?
Yeah, but that
Yeah.
direction.
The
Yeah.
ruins of
Not
Helmengoat.
destroyed.
Okay. I just saw
It's-
the dice still there, so wasn't sure if that.
Good call.
But yeah, like try to utilize both at the same time and get a pincer attack on their
Yeah.
reserve troops, and if we have to, just strike and run afterwards.
So, how should we do it? Attack? Do you say split the troops?
Yeah,
again?
well, I was gonna say no. The first army goes up here.
Okay.
Second army goes up this way,
Okay.
and then we just hit them both at the same time. That way, the only way they have to retreat is to go down the halls of the Hall Forge if they have to retreat, and then we have them pinned in with no food or access to anything else. Like it might affect the Hall Forge and the people that are here, and I honestly think that's a price we might have to accept if we have to.
Yes, brilliant strategy. We shall call it the Helmengoat's Horns.
So, should I start moving First Army now, or
Well, I wasn't sure how we're going to go about that because I imagine this is the end of the season. We're finding out this information.
Yes. Yeah. Finding out at the end of the
Yeah.
season.
So I feel like start
and
marching
we do
like
have a
next
nice
season.
fresh batch of troops to mobilize.
Yeah.
True, but they will once we go into army movement time. We'll be moving like 3 squares at a time. So
Yeah. That's
Depends
what I'm
on-
saying. So, if we want to utilize these new troops, we got to keep in mind that it'll take time for them to convene. So we got to figure out the timing of this. I could take First Army to try to.
Well, what I was thinking, because it's going to take just as long for them to get to the first army and second army, we determine the ones we're sending from Dammerhall, which ones are going to go to second army and first army. They both get to those armies at the same time, and then both of those armies march out at the same time. Because looking at the spaces that it requires to get to the second army and the first army
Mhm.
is about the same. And then, honestly, like we'd have to like have the first army go out a little faster.
In that case, I think if we could get some hammer elites on the sloops to keep them fast, I think that would go well. First army. And
Just so you know, the sloops in open cavern warfare can function normally, but in
Mm.
narrow tunnels, they will need to be lowered to the ground and guided on foot. So they're not really going to be
okay.
overland army movement. In combat, when you're out in those open caverns, like at Helmengoat, they could be
I
deployed
gotcha.
with no issue. But
Okay, I gotcha.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. Like, say, like we're having to move the people from Dammerhall, 4 spaces to get to here, and then 2 can break off to get to the second army.
Yeah.
And then the other ones can go. We could have the first army already set up right here where the Drow Force thing is, or maybe not. I don't know about that. I don't know how that works. So
that's an abstraction at the moment. So
yeah,
you'll see.
like obviously leave at least 1 or 2 units in the first army in Forge Warned area to protect it from those things. But we really need to deal with the orcs pronto.
No, I hear you. This group of 4, that is a faster unit. Does that, if it was them, would they move faster on the map too? Or is their speed still the
maybe
same?
if it wasn't for the scouts, but
I thought the scouts had 2 movement.
They have an ability to let them increase their movement.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
There's a difference between combat speed
I
and
hear
army marching speed.
I forget. Yeah, I didn't think of it as an ability. I thought it's.
I do say we send more ranged options to the second army since they're going to be more pinned in.
Yeah.
And send more of the foot soldier people with the first army up north.
Okay. So I imagine first army should probably still get the sloops since, we'll probably be attacking from the north portion, right? Is that how we're doing? We're still attacking from 2 directions, correct?
I believe so.
So there's a lot of open cavern.
Honestly, looking at it, the second army should probably just get the Quarrelers and everyone else go with the first army. Because the second army has more units in general.
I'm good with that.
And then with the first army, we'll leave, 2 Dwarven defenders to defend against any Drow forces that are in the area?
Works for me.
I don't know, does anyone else have any suggestions? Because keep in mind, this is Richard speaking. I am not a tactician.
Yeah.
I can't succeed in Civ games half the time.
I'm of that same mindset. I mean, especially now that their army is split, so we should definitely take advantage of that.
At the very least, do like a hit and run, do some damage, and get the fuck out if we have to.
It might not be a bad idea to start moving our troops, like the first army and second army now, while their army is split. So by the time they get to Hall Forge, we'd be hitting their lingering troops and see if we could just take advantage of that.
We can do that
split.
too if we want to take that risk. I just wasn't sure if we wanted to.
Yeah, that's why I'm asking. Is it better to hit them when their army is probably at its most separated, or do we wait to convene with our units? Do we know how much contingent of how much of their army was sent away? And
no, they were just splitting at the end of the season.
Okay. So I think
both of our units. Okay.
So should we spend this season sending the first army against the Drow forces just to try to get them out of the way?
Well, I feel like if we don't take advantage of this orc confusion in this season, it's going to be over for that.
Right, but how do we take advantage of the? We're not in a position to attack the orcs at this season.
Well, I mean, it's not going to take the whole season to march our units from Dammerhall into our armies and get to Helmengard. I don't think. It's not going to take
right. That's weekly basis. That's right. That's where I'm getting mixed up. Okay. Yep, you're right.
So, because you said it's like 4 squares per week.
So I'm thinking I could send First Army to attack, this while we're waiting for these troops to move up.
Yeah, I just
'Cause
wasn't sure if it, like he said it was abstract, so I wasn't sure if it was going to be like a military thing or if we could, like, as characters, see if we can try to deal with that as well while we're waiting for the armies to get there. I'm not sure
Oh.
how that works, so.
Actually, yeah.
Because I can just teleport us there to Port Eversteam and see if we can deal. Because they said there was like
Actually,
a dozen or so, which
I didn't.
is still
yeah,
bad, but we're pretty powerful compared to the average.
Yeah, no, you're
I'll
absolutely
let
right.
you guys know
I
that
forgot that they were an
if
army.
you do that, if you do the Heroes Unite against them, we'll say you could bring a few troops that will be fighting some of the golems in the background, and then we'll have a normal combat encounter, and you won't be fighting literally 36 golems because that would be a slog, but you'll be fighting a few of them, and we'll say that's you pulling more than your weight.
That sounds great to me.
Yeah,
that sounds
fun.
Do
We can deal with that while the army's marching.
Yeah.
And that way we can deal with 2 things at the same time.
So First Army with us really getting in the thick of things.
Yeah. While we're waiting, like say some units from the First Army are the ones that are distracting the other golems while we're fighting.
Yeah. I mean, if there's anything to go up against the golems, it's definitely those battle moves.
Overall, sounds like a good plan.
What was that? You were really
So
quiet.
overall, sounds like a good plan. Yeah, I don't really have an idea on how to separate the units out, if any additional. So since it was kind of set up to defend them from leaving the southern end of that cave, even if it is mostly intact, Helmet Goat shouldn't offer too much of an issue from this side.
So it'd be all the better if we could hit him from both sides at once.
Holding the northern reaches of the cave to cut off their supplies is at least important. How we'll have to deal with the other orc army is the ultimate question. That cave is a dead end, but it does have that kind of major tunnel split. So
yeah, and it's not going to do. Hallforge is not going to like us just sieging them while they're.
I mean, we are Hallforge, I think. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well,
and also the fact of the matter is, I don't know how you guys feel about yes. We put a cork in the bottle. We'll just wait here for them to come over after they kill all those civilians.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying. Is we can't just siege them in there. We do need to.
When I was mentioning that, I was like, that's an option if we can't figure anything else out.
Yeah.
But it's better to have that option than not have that option.
But I do like the idea of them being in that territory, and then us just basically having them cornered there. Where we're advancing, but we're really restricting their movements, and we kind of are able to do that.
Yeah.
Because if we could take control of the split, especially, it could give us a little bit more flexibility. So yeah, I would say this upcoming.
We march on the Drow forces ourselves to deal with that while our army marches. And then the second and first army, when that's dealt with, both head to the Helmengard territory to deal with the sectioned off orc army. And hopefully we can time that well enough where we can get there quick. So.
All right. So before we kick anything
off, that'll be
off,
my final answer, Bob.
Just give you a moment. I'm going to take a quick bio. We're about the halfway mark anyway, so it's a good time for it.
Yep. For anyone who's still here, I don't know if I remembered mentioning it or not last week, but I really like in Curse of the Crimson Throne, we're not locking ourselves into always following groups as a party, rather than we're actually splitting off and doing things in separate groups.
Yeah, it's just it makes combat balance a bit harder and a bit more
it makes
anxious.
combat but it, like, as a characterization thing, like if we're all from a city, it makes sense that we're not just traveling in like big groups to be afraid of our lives all the time. You know, there's a fine line between the two.
Helps when, the party can't quite get together freely. So. But shit still needs to be found out. I'm curious how that'll resolve next week.
Yes. Some footballing. With the old
I feel
pigskin.
like it's not going to happen though. we don't have enough people for a team.
I suspect there will be more Kier throwing stuff than actual sports playing.
No, never.
Because I will tell you that the says you can have up to the same amount of players as the other team, but the king does not pity you at all if you do not have enough players to fill out your team. So you can find warm bodies, but there's not exactly, you're already here, so.
I may have to infiltrate the place while you guys are distracting him.
I could summon gorillas for our team.
I mean, that's
Yes,
a
please.
move.
Yeah, that's
But
power
they
move
did say
right there.
magic was not allowed, which is why I was like,
Yeah.
I
they
mean,
didn't say
we're
that.
just fleshing out our team. We're not using magic. We're just getting our team together.
I'm just bringing them in.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I can summon 1d3 apes.
I'd definitely like to get Azure in on this.
Please don't ever cast that spell around me. I don't want to be around you or your apes.
I'm back.
Listen, it's just 1d3 Harambes, okay?
It's fine as long as they don't get bored. I'll take up.
Man,
solo.
I am on fire tonight with entering at the weirdest time.
Oh, hey, no, wait. One of the alternate summons, I can summon human were-rat rogues.
What?
From
I can
where?
summon 1d3 were-rat rogues.
Whose
What?
life are you interrupting?
I just summoned those
They just wait in the
were-rats that
sewers.
you've been communicating with this whole time.
This is my question always when we're summoning like sentient. Where are they coming from?
They're magic. They
Is that what it
disappear after
is?
A few minutes. Yeah.
Are they like, I'm saying like familiar, but not in the Pathfinder sense, like an actual magical animal that doesn't really exist.
like a simulacrum.
Yeah,
yeah.
it depends on how the player themes it because it doesn't really explain. It's just poof, they're there.
Now I like the idea of a campaign where, oh God, it's like Quantum Leap. You just get summoned by wizards into random fights.
That's an
That
Easter
is
egg
a
campaign.
good idea. That is a good idea. So you're like, oh, you could make a whole setting around this where it's like you get like a monthly paycheck for signing up to be on the summoners list. Yep, you're a level 4 fighter, so any wizard of level 8 or higher is going to be able to call upon you, so you'll have to be ready for between these hours.
It's almost like an adventure or like a Pathfinder society where you're sitting around the table. Well, has anybody seen Bruce? Oh, bad news. He got summoned to scout a very dangerous area.
Oh, that would be so good for one shots.
Oh,
Oh, this is
Yeah.
you come up with such great ideas. Just
telling you, this
just
is
the
what
only good
Code needs to
idea I've
DM
ever
at some
had.
point.
no. You gave Gombo his whole idea for his game that he made.
Yeah, this is true. Aces of Astrospace. I was recently pondering about a second edition of that, actually. And that's one I
like
very
to
much.
think of myself as an idea man.
I'm the idea guy.
Do
Let's move on.
do the D&D things. Second edition is advanced Aces of Astrospace. So you got the thing going on.
I'm just gonna say, if someone else does do it, I'm definitely gonna use that idea for a one shot of some kind,
Oh, go for it.
in like a another world. It would be better for one shots because imagine just getting dropped in and you just have to infer the rest of what this adventure was
Yeah.
from whatever boss fight they've just summoned you into.
That's hilarious.
Quick, I need help killing all these angels. Wait, what?
What?
Should have read the fine print, bitch. Get to work.
Oh god.
Okay, I need you to put on these clothes and pretend to be my girlfriend. What?
You used a level 8 spell for this?
I'm a nerd. What do you expect?
I mean, Michael, remember that time that you summoned some monkeys and I magically disguised them so they would get executed in prison instead of a PC?
Mm-hmm.
And those monkeys are fucking dead.
Well, PETA won't be happy about that.
I mean, is PETA ever happy about anything?
No, I think they're only happy when they're killing animals, strangely enough.
I'm just getting battle mats set up. This is one of those times when I didn't have a pre-made one, so I'm using the Roll20 assets to make run real quick. So
yeah,
please forgive your eyes.
Yeah, we can vamp. We're really good at that.
Mm.
I mean, you've seen the ones I do. Just very basic.
Mm-hmm. Again, especially with a homebrew campaign and stuff, you're gonna have times where you don't have every single map prepared.
Oh yeah. As I said, it's a me disliking myself for it, not anything to do with you guys. I know that you guys are good with it. It's my own perfectionism.
It's why I can never finish a proper battle map when I'm making it myself. I'm like, nope, I hate this all. I need to restart from scratch.
I mean, a couple times in Curse of the Crimson Throne, I've just gone into Incarnate and used someone else's map. I've just typed in Forest. If you like, I think that's what I did for when you guys were traveling through the forest to go deliver the artist to Vin Carlo's contact. I didn't have it prepared, so I just quick went into Incarnate, put in Forest, downloaded that, scaled it, and put you guys into that map. You can't have a map ready for everything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, as I said, mostly my own perfectionism.
Can you imagine if someone I'm sure someone has done it, like has made an entire D&D world and had a map for every location in said world already ready?
Yeah, certainly there's a lot you can do with just having generic locations and then reusing it. Like when we get to Skull and Shackles, I'll spoil it for you. You're gonna see the same 3 ship maps a lot.
I mean, you can only make so many maps.
Tolkien was one step away from that, honestly. He's one step away explaining how Hobbit piss smells more like apples than asparagus. That's when you go too far. That's when you go full rolling. You're explaining too much! I didn't want to know how wizards shit!
Oh yeah, I'm actually done with the map, but I was just going to say, wild thought that occurred to me the other day. Considering that everyone likes to reference Tolkien as a source of a lot of D&D knowledge, it blows my mind that we haven't seen a game where wizard is a race instead of a class.
Yeah, it's interesting. I think just because most people don't think of Gandalf as something other than being a human, because he looks like a human, but he is certainly not one. That is not what wizards are in Lord of the Rings.
I remember in high school when the movies came out, there was a couple kids arguing about whether he was a human or an elf. I'm like, I thought he was neither. I don't remember reading the books, but I
like
remember he was neither from like actual people talking about it, new shit.
I mean,
it's like
the fighter with the magic
3
staff.
or 4 steps down on the hierarchy from literal god.
Yeah, This motherfucker can change what time of day it is, okay? the amount of power he has over Middle Earth is insane.
Yeah, that's
They
why
are
I'm.
also somewhat limited in the human form, but
I mean, he changes what time of fucking day it is, so there's only so much they're displaying it being limited. He can change the fucking motion of the Earth or whatever.
Also, Cope, did you just leave roll 20? Because a little image disappeared
Yeah,
on
my
end.
computer, my screen just went timed out.
Ah.
I'm just sitting here listening to y'all.
Mhm.
Still hadn't picked my laptop back up.
But yeah, and that thought occurred to me, and I was surprised about that because you'd think if you just have a game that plays more heavy on your racial options as far as abilities, wizard just being the all magic race, and then you could be a wizard fighter, which is basically what Gandalf was.
That's what Gandalf is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That just occurred to me the other day. I'm like, I'm amazed that no one's done that. That sounds interesting.
I mean, I love watching the movies again with the thought in the back of my head of he's just a fighter who found a magic staff.
Yep.
Because it holds up through all three.
I don't think the staff was the magical part of Gandalf.
It's the hat.
It's
Yeah.
always the hat.
Everyone knows that.
It's always the hat.
Well, it's kind of like so Gandalf himself is a human. The wizard is the hat. So he sort of parasitically has placed himself atop the head.
Man, that
Brings all
is
new meaning to the Sorting Hat in Harry Potter.
man.
You can't tell me I'm wrong. You haven't read the Silmarillion.
We are just rapid firing really great fantasy world building ideas today. Being an adventurer signing up to be summoned, and wizards are actually parasitic hats.
Listen, there's a reason why before we start the campaign, I want to do the homebrew one. That I want to do like a world building session where we just sit there and like just vibe
Come
and
up with
figure
the
out what we
fact
want
that
for the world.
This
That
is
would be great. I think this is a good idea, and you should follow through with it, Richard.
This is some top tier weird fantasy, and I like that.
But no, I really plan on. I have it already laid out, and I have the document ready to go for when we do it. So whenever we have like an in between campaign thing, we want to just like take a week where we're not doing something. I'll just do that, and that way we'll have time to actually flesh out the world after we're done with our nonsense.
Mm-hmm. It feels very much. I read some of the original works of Jack Vance, which inspired D&D, and that is some real fucking weird fantasy. There was one short story about an adventurer who goes into a ruin to try to steal some golden idols, and I shit you not, what happens is that there's a wizard standing behind a tapestry, and this wizard's robe has about 100 eyes on it, like actual eyeballs that look out, and he just goes like, I'm Zalzibar of the 1,000 Eyes, and then he chases him like a Scooby-Doo character. And that's how the short story ends. I'm like, whoa.
I've got it.
So, weed.
Wizards are a race. They are a race of sentient hat, and they feed on memories, and that's why they always look for old people.
Fuck it, I'm down.
We're spitting here.
Yeah.
Feel free to take that, anyone listening, unless we write this down in a book and copyright it, then keep your grubby communist hands off my shit.
All right, back to the matter at hand. We can only come up with so many good ideas in one session.
I know.
So, top of year 7, season 3. So the plan is that you guys are going to start having the forces from Dammerhall, which we'll go ahead and call Third Army here, march out from Dammerhall.
I will say we should probably leave 2 defenders there just to have a standing army in Dammerhall.
Yep, don't forget you can move those tokens there, so just organize it how you want.
Yep. I know. I don't like the idea of leaving Dammerhall unguarded from a standing army. So
yeah,
and you can move to the Third Army little tab down here. All right. And so while those forces are marching, what were you guys going to do about the Drow Golem?
First Army was going to help us take on the golems.
Mm-hmm.
And we're gonna get personally involved.
Yep.
So I teleport us through the axe into Port Eversteam somewhere.
All right. And that's
the
all the
bash.
player characters. Are you going to bring a companion character, or are you just going to handle it the 5 of you?
Probably bring
Let's bring a
Ivy.
companion.
Right.
Ivy, or do we want somebody that's, because this might be a little bit more like
Magical.
tanky.
Well, I mean, Iago and Miku aren't part of our cohorts right
Oh,
now.
they're
It's
not,
either
so-
Ignis or Ivy.
I gotcha. Then yeah, let's go with Ivy.
Because I just figured she could like accompany the First Army to be a hero unit, couldn't she?
Yeah.
Because I could have
Okay.
her go with the scouts and support them.
Yeah, all
Do
the
we
better.
If
All right.
that-
Do we want me to still keep watch in Dammerhall, or do we want me to go along?
I think you could come along.
Like, we can get alerted from people at Dammerhall, and we can get there
Yeah.
pretty quickly if we have to.
Yeah.
Remember,
I mean,
army movement is by the week, so Fergus could try to just take you back too, if that's what you want.
Yeah. Yeah, if we want to just deal with this, and then before the army gets there, I can just teleport you back if you want to wait. If you want to be at Dammerhall.
Yeah, I think because the problem with waiting is by the time we'll hear about it, it'll have already happened. You know.
Yeah. But I mean, you can take the time to help us with the forces of the Drow that are there while we're dealing with that, and then I could bring you back.
Yeah. It's
Or I don't
only
even have
going.
to go. I could just. Oh no, I have to go. Then I would just take a day to come back. So, because like he said, it's weekly for travel.
Okay.
So you basically be gone for like maybe a week at most. But even then, I'm not sure it would take a whole week.
Okay. Do we think the Maladraxus couldn't like kill thousands and thousands of people in a week?
Well, the thing is, someone could send us a message through a cleric that we could leave there that could have like the sending spell,
Mhm.
and then it would just be like we just would need to get to a piece of built architecture of dwarven tech, and then I could just teleport us.
I imagine if a dragon appears, Caliburb's probably going to instinctually know, maybe I should teleport to those guys and get them back here.
Yeah, he's not full strength, but he's got a couple teleportation spells on lock.
Yeah,
Okay, I don't even know how much longer Caliburb's going to be able to spell his own name.
true. That's why I'm saying like we can just deal with this, and if we get a message in our heads like come back, we could probably be there within a few hours at most.
But yeah,
We just
I
need to
see what
find
you
a piece of
mean.
dwarven tech.
I agree, as long as there are people set up to send us.
Yeah.
Yep.
Send us stuff. I agree.
Would it be possible, Gombo, like maybe not right this second, obviously, but just like procure like for the for the government some sending stones that I could have, and like Thyris could have one to send a message to? Because I know sending stones will work for long
You
distances.
still have that messenger journal that you have.
Oh, yeah.
As well.
We could also leave that with Thyris if he wants to like write us a message, and we could just make a note to check it every hour. Just like open it up on a page, check it, put it back if it's not needed. Because Nolgrim, you have the other one and I have one, so
Yeah, that's it. That's true.
yeah, we just let it to him when we're out, and that way he has at least a way to contact us. If for some reason the clerics can't.
You could just turn notifications on, and it'll ding when you get new text.
Oh, I forgot we had cell phones in this setting.
Yeah, you open up the book and you just remember 8 years ago all the times that when Nolgrim first got the book, he just started writing you up. That's not joking. Go back to the recording. He did it.
Yep. Medieval booty call.
So the 5 of you, or 6 with Ivy, mount up with the riders of the First Army to move out to the last reported location of the Drow Golems. They had been idling recently near a large section of stone pillars. It doesn't. They're not especially subtle, so it's not hard for the army to close in on them. But they begin withdrawing as your forces close in, drawing you deeper and deeper into the sort of, I guess you could call it a stone forest. Clearly exerting some measure of intelligence to avoid direct lines of sight to prevent ranged attacks that force you guys to draw in closer.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, drink of water. Sometimes you do narration and you get like a little tickle in your throat, and you're like, I just need to quickly put a splash of water on that before I start coughing.
Yep.
Assumedly, you guys want to take them out, so you go in.
Yeah.
Because they're constructs, not like you can starve them out.
Yeah.
Pushing into the forest, they begin spreading out, forcing your own cavalry to separate out somewhat. You're getting a good look at the now very much intact golems. As I described before, 10 feet tall, multiple arms. Their metal now looks quite solid from a distance, though glossy like silver or mithril. They move in extremely fluid, almost unnervingly unearthly grace, like a cat or a snake, all purpose and perfect coordination. Some sort of unspoken network gives them this great deal of organization as they move about, separating into groups of two, drawing you in. Around you, you hear the sounds of battle being joined as many of the riders of the Deep Moose and the remaining goat riders begin engaging with the golems. A bloody combat is beginning to ensue as the rest of you are drawn in to engage with some of your own. And I shall move you to the combat map.
Oh yeah, the temporary hit points now is, let's see, my level plus my charisma. So 20 temporary hit points now.
All right. Also, don't forget to double check if you were hurt at all to top yourself off. They got an absolutely dog shit initiative roll, but you guys should be able to see your tokens now.
Yep.
It does have dynamic lighting, but
Quicksilver. Roll to 1.
Hey, I forgot Ivy still has that wand of Shadow Blade.
yep. Good old Darksaber.
I mean, she's almost a Sith. She has some psychic powers. Just can't force choke anybody yet. Also, just realized she's still level 7.
5, 6. Yeah, I think we forgot to upgrade her. Let me quickly
I can
check.
do it real quick. What
Yeah,
level
just
should
do it
she be?
Let me check my notes. I have it right here.
By the way, did we ever get an answer to the question of whether or not like hold spells would work on these guys?
She should be level 8. Give me a retroactive heal check. Anyone who
Level
has
8.
heal. Medicine. Sorry.
Anybody else here got that? Because I got a -1 to it.
I might.
I have it too, but
I
it's
don't.
not.
No. Listen, I have so many skills I can never keep track.
I'll say with Taskle 16, they still count as a construct.
Okay.
But yeah, Ivy's supposed to be level 8, so.
Okay. I forgot how much lower she is than us, because I think she's half our level now.
Yeah, half your level. Next time you guys level up, she goes up a level to level 9. I tried to stagger it out so when you guys were at 20, she would be at 10. But, yeah, whatever. it just the default cohort rules in 5th edition make them much more boring than just giving them class levels. Because it's literally just you're either a spellcaster, a normal fighter person, or you have skill expertise and light armor, no other abilities. It's easy to run, but it's very dry.
Gotcha.
Do you wonder what the suit's dexterity to strength ratio is?
Well, I've both in character and out of character. I have no idea how hold monster differs from like hold person as far as like what qualifies as a monster.
Monstrous is a type. Let me see.
I think hold monster just holds everything, isn't it?
I believe so. Hold person only works on humanoids.
Yeah.
Hold person only works on humans, but funnily enough, hold monster works on everything, I think.
Would that include constructs or?
Yes, it says creature,
Okay.
so anything.
Okay, just want to make sure.
Assuming they're not immune to the paralyzed condition.
Right.
All right. Do you need a minute, Richard, or are we good to
No,
roll
she's
in?
already leveled up and good to go.
All right, cool. Fergus, you act first.
Okay. The one straight down south of me, which, sorry, Windows not cooperating. This one here. I'm going to use my insightful fighting, so it needs to use a deception charisma check.
Sorry, which one? I missed the arrow.
This one right here.
Gotcha.
And then I will use my insight against them.
Amazingly, a natural 20.
Yeah. I wasn't sure if it still succeeded, but if it's a natural 20, yeah.
Yeah, it's a natural 20.
Okay, so I won't get my sneak attack against it.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll just shoot it with my bow. I will go ahead and throw sharpshooter on. -5 to hit, but if it hits, more damage. So that would be 17, and I will...
17 will hit.
So ignore the sneak attack. I forgot to take that off.
Right, so it's 14.
It would be 24 because the sharpshooter's not on there either.
Right, okay, so 24, and you are magical. Gotcha.
And then I'll shoot it one more time. Definitely hits for 18 more points of damage.
Okay.
That's it.
All right. Freya.
Did it look like it took any damage when I shot it?
Yes.
Okay.
You actually, weirdly enough, see the arrows embed into the metal.
Mm.
Okay. So most of my stuff works on decks. And they're drow golems, so I'm tossed up on whether or not I think they have a good dex. But there's only one way to find out. That is to shoot some shit at them. Let's do... Can I do any kind of knowledge roll to know if... I don't know if it's not something we said we studied earlier, but if they looked like they would have had any resistances?
Could like we retroactively say we studied?
Yeah, give me an Arcana roll, flat.
I did not think of it at the time in out of character.
But. You don't think this is all of their resistance immunities, but you think it's a pretty safe bet that they have the pretty standard golem immune to bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing from non-magical attacks that aren't anime time.
Okay.
That's pretty standard golem fare.
Yeah. I think I'm going to use one of my laser beams Let's see how they like acid, perhaps. So I will step 15 feet, or maybe another 15 to give this shot. And then a 300-foot line of acid that way.
All right. Dex save, if I remember correctly.
Yep. I'll put it in the chat.
Not very good at dex saves. Okay, so one of them passes, the other one
15.
fails. So roll 40 again.
All right. 10.
All right. So first one takes. Next one takes. All right. That your turn?
Yep.
Ivy.
Melt, bitches.
They do look like they were hurt by that.
Let's see. She's gonna use her ring of invisibility and go invisible.
All right.
I'm,
Fergus gave her his ring.
As people are starting to mobilize, and I'll say, "Steer clear of the center here. I'm gonna see if I could get an area of effect in."
And then she'll have a 29 stealth.
Ooh.
And for now, she's just going to head over to this direction right here.
Mary Gooch T. Queef doesn't have a ring.
She has to play more defensive. She's not quite as tanky as the rest of us.
Mm-hmm. All right. Thrum.
All right, bonus action. Thrum is going to rage. And as part of that, with instinctive pounce, he can move half his distance, which is 15.
No problem. Yeah.
And then he's got 35 more.
I gotta say, the dynamic lighting does a lot of help to make this map look better than it actually is.
Is there a
Dynamic light is
charge
always
in
nice.
Fabi?
No, there is not.
Okay. So he would move to there, and then he'd get full attack, right?
Yep.
We haven't had much combat lately.
Yeah.
And does this count as a dwarf?
It does
sorry, a drow.
No. Nope. Firmly
Oh,
construct.
thank you for playing. Please take your cards and leave. All right. One thing about Scalebane is it is true mithril.
Yeah, it counts as adamantine, so it'll bypass their immunity. You know that.
Okay. And then it also says it does double damage against inanimate objects or structures. Does that include constructs?
This is very much an animate object.
Good point. Okay. All right. Let's two-hand that bitch and swing.
All right, one moment here. Doing some math real quick. All right, that'll hit.
All right, and swing again.
That's -8.
Why am I getting advantage?
Yeah, I was about to ask that myself.
Because you're just that good.
Fortunately,
Sorry, it's just clicked up there.
Biased.
The one that you're attacking is going to use its reaction to parry, increasing its AC by 3, and it'll stop the second attack.
Got it. That's it for Thrumdee-Dum.
He usually rolls first roll, second roll anyways. So.
Olgrim.
All right. Nolgrim's going to cast Synaptic Static and target it right there. So I should be able to get 3 of them.
Okay.
Yeah, fuck them up. Static up their shit.
Oh, let me just look at something. I'm just reading the spell.
Because you did mention they exhibited intelligence with lowerness.
Yes. All right. So I will give them the intelligence saving throw. They are immune to psychic damage, but I was just reading it. The secondary effect of minus D6 will still work if they fail to save, though.
All right. Well, no need to roll damage then, huh?
No.
Damn it.
But I will still roll to see if they subtract D6s from everything. So 1, 2, 3.
DC
okay.
18.
They all fail. So I'll just.
Well, they got to get a natural 20 to succeed at least.
Yeah, well, they're lobotomized.
Hmm.
So I'll just red dot them.
And then
Just help me remember to roll the D6s on them, because I definitely will forget.
I can do that.
Mhm.
And then bonus action, I will choose this one as the focus of my hex
All right.
or my grudge. That'll be my turn.
Okie dokie. Taskell.
So made my move.
Hmm.
I'm gonna cast Spirit Guardians. It is 15-foot radius. So that one will be in range when it starts.
Okay.
Will save, which they probably also suck at, but hey,
Yep.
who knows?
Hey, I'll just do it now. Yep.
And that'll be my go.
Okay. Quicksilver golems. The first thing you guys notice is that all the golems are damaged. Like the arrows that Fergus stuck into them, they begin popping out of the body. And the metal begins repairing itself, Terminator 2 style.
I was about to say these are T2s,
Mm-hmm.
liquid metal.
Yeah, but I was thinking the whole time, like, I couldn't remember the actual name of the one from T2.
Yeah, the T1000.
T1000. Okay.
So a couple of these are back to full health, but the one that's received the most attacks are still hurt. All right.
Kill him dead.
This one should be able to be there outside the Spirit Guardian. Yep. This one over here is going to close in on. Actually, it doesn't need to do that. It can be there. And there. Closing in on Freya. Perfect. All right. So, for the sake of simplicity, I'm just going to roll 1d6 and then just subtract it from all the marked ones. Just because it'll be a pain. Is that all right?
All right.
Oh, you mean on their attack rolls for the static
Yeah, on their
thing?
attack rolls. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So everyone with a 1 dot will be subtracting 3. So the ones on Thrum here, they got their dual scimitar attacks. They make 3 attacks. Technically, they have 6 arms, so like rules-wise, they would be doing 6 attacks, but that's just way too many fucking dice. So I just said just double the damage and made it 1 attack per. So for Thrum, -3 from all these attack rolls. 1, 2, 3.
And
Okay.
those are also minus a d6.
Yeah, that's why I rolled the.
Oh, okay.
That's what I
Gotcha.
just talked about with the D6.
Oh,
so
yeah,
it's
sorry.
minus
Those
3.
on this.
All right, and then the second one on Thrum, 1, 2. That's natural 20. Natural 20.
Ouch.
All right.
Hold on.
Well,
Where's this thing?
you can't use lucky to reroll my rolls.
I think I can.
Yeah, 1 point when it's a attack made against you. It's third paragraph.
Ding ding ding.
1 point when an attack roll is made against you, roll a d20 and then choose whether the attack uses the attacker's roll or yours. You good with that, Gumbo?
Yeah, that's what the rules say.
Yep. I'll take the 4, Bob.
All right. There's still another one.
You fucked up on that.
Are you going to use luck on the second critical as well, or just take the second critical?
Can you use it twice in one round?
You have 3 points, so you
Yeah,
can use it.
it's not an action to use.
Points. I mean, you
There's
are
just one
raging
thing.
and you are the tank, so it depends
Yeah.
on how much you wish to expend.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and use one.
All right.
Because why not?
All right.
All right. Glad I got those out of my system.
Yeah.
And now we got some attacks on Freya. The first 3 will have -3. The next ones will have normal. So 1, 2, 3. 23. Will that hit Freya? Michael?
You mutant.
Yes, that will hit, but I will cast shield to make it not hit
All right.
as a
one moment.
reaction.
All right. Sounds good. Next ones, these will not have the -3 to them. Natural 20, 26, natural 20.
Jesus.
Note to self: don't use the shield on a 19.
All right,
Holy
so the
crap.
natural 20s first.
You can't do multiple reactions. You only get one.
Well,
right?
the shield's still there, though.
Yeah, the shield's still there, so if it'll
It
block
blocks
Oh,
the
yeah.
attacks. If it blocked the 26,
Yeah.
then
if it'll block the 26, then you won't take the 26, but the 2 natural 20s
Yes.
go through. All right, so
Okay.
just the 2 natural 20s then?
Yeah, just the 2 natural 20s.
All right, so that would be 34 plus 28 damage.
Yikes.
As these 2 golems are like fighting in perfect synchronization, each one of their giant scimitars are functioning independently and attacking from different angles. Like a true master swordsman, they're not like swinging 2 swords in tandem in the one angle. Each one is going from a different direction.
Mhm.
So that's 12 swords that you're trying to fend off.
I see they've gone with the Zorro philosophy.
Fergus. If you're saying anything, Richard, you're muted.
Yeah, sorry, I was closing the gap. That's still outside of their striking range, right?
Yes.
Because I am going to attempt a sharpshooter with my throwing axe.
Mhm.
I'm going to keep sharpshooter off the damage because it fucks up with the damage modifiers with sneak attack.
Mhm.
I'm going to. I don't know. Is Freya threatening them?
Do you have reach, Freya? 10 feet of reach on your melee attack?
I don't think so. No, mine says only 5 feet.
Okay, so I'm going to try to incite fighting that one again.
All right.
So insight versus their deception.
-3.
There we go. That's a little bit better this time. So I will get sneak attack if I hit him.
Mhm.
So first up is the X. I assume that hits.
Oh, yeah, that'll hit.
So that'll be 41 points of damage.
All right.
As the axe swings by it and chunks into it, it swings back, and that's going to be the second attack.
Gotcha.
That will miss.
Yep.
And I will go ahead and action surge to attack 2 more times.
Gotcha.
Oh, also, I forgot the axe has a ranged bonus, so that first attack would have had 6 extra damage on it.
All right. All right, because
The axe has that ability on it. What the hell? Sorry, hold on. My axe decided just to change the damage on it to just +3 instead of 1d8.
I'm trying to remember how it has +6 extra damage on a ranged attack. Because I remember it's a +5 weapon, but there's a +6 addition to that. I don't remember that.
Well, there's +5 from the dex, and it's a +3 weapon.
Mm-hmm.
So that should be a +8 total.
Yeah.
6, 7, 8. That's a +8 on it.
All right.
Yeah,
So
on
you
the slashing damage. Like, what I'm confused with what you're asking. Sorry.
You were saying on that first attack hit, it does 6 additional damage in addition to the 41 that you
Because
already did.
it has an ability that adds a 1d8 when you throw it. Because it functions as the dwarven.
Gotcha. Okay. Good to know.
Sorry, my damage for some reason is not fixing it. Or my to hit is fucking up. On my, why is it saying only a +8 now? There we go. Sorry, my character sheet started messing up on me.
Gotcha.
So third attack, that'll probably miss a 13.
That
I will use a
miss.
superiority die. Oh, 15 is probably not going to hit.
It's not bad, no. But you
And
still
then
get
one
one
more
more attack for
time.
the action surge.
I will go ahead and spend one more superiority die. So, 13, 17.
17 hits.
Okay, so that will be 22 points more damage.
All right.
And that'll be my turn. As I just throw my axe like Thor.
Mm-hmm. I imagine how you're in my head. I see you throw the axe, it hits, it scrapes the floor and comes back to you. And then you just use your bow like a baseball bat and you whack it back for the action surge attack.
Cannon.
Freya.
Like, oh god, it's coming right for me.
Okay, which one of these guys looks the most injured?
Definitely this northern one with a red dot.
All right, I'm gonna use my Flame Bane Analyzer targeting dexterity.
All right. And that's a suitability, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Bonus action. They get a curse on that, and yeah. And then I'm going to cast Fireball.
All right.
It will be cast.
Yeah, what level?
Over I'll cast it at 4th level over here.
Right.
So they're just steeped in it. But
I'll
not.
save you a roll because this southern one here is going to expend a reaction to use its spell absorption ability. So you see its quicksilver body forms into runes which draw in the fire from your spell, and then you see it get sucked in like a vacuum and become like a glowing pustule of magical energy beneath the metal body.
That's not good.
So I'll just...
Anyways, I got like 30 hit points left on this suit. But it does regain 1d6.
Yeah.
This round. From my automatic repair protocol.
Mm-hmm.
So it's 43 now.
All right. Ivy.
Okay.
Or can I move, actually?
Yes, you will provoke AOs, but you can move.
Yeah, let's...
I'm better only one attack than potentially 3.
All right. So, because of an ability these golems have with tri-armed, they actually have 3 reactions per round.
Oh,
so
Jesus.
this will be 2 scimitar attacks.
Still got the shield's up. Shield
is
it at the
over
start?
now.
Okay.
I could use it again.
Yeah, you can use it again.
Which one is at the minus a d6?
Oh, good point. That would be the first one. So.
Okay. Then neither of them will hit.
All right, so the 24 is actually a 18 now, but the 21 is still a 21.
Neither of them hit then.
All right, good to go then.
As I back up the suit being more damaged than I expected.
Mm-hmm. Now it's Ivy's turn.
Yes.
Honestly, she has nothing that will work against these things because all her stuff is psychic or non-magical weaponry.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just gonna have her go back here and add to her defense.
Yeah.
For Freya, just try to block attacks for her.
Yeah. Give them
If it works like my suit, then the pilots, if you can see them, should be susceptible to psychic effects. I don't know.
Well,
yeah.
we just established they're immune to psychic effects, so.
Oh, okay,
Psychic
sorry.
damage.
I didn't
Anyway.
hear
Psychic damage, not like the effects. Hence why I'm still doing the D6
But
power.
all her stuff is psychic damage. So.
Yeah.
So she's just gonna chill right there and add to AC, or basically make the next attack have disadvantage.
Correct. But now it is Thrum's turn. He's in the thick of it.
All right, he is going to bonus action grapple this guy right in front of him with his chains, or try to chain attack him to make him be grappled.
All right. 20, so you succeed.
So opposed, yep. He would take 9 damage, and now he is considered grappled. So extra grapple damage on 2 attacks.
All right, that'll hit. And then that next one will also hit. 15. All right. Anything else?
That's it.
All
That's
right.
it for him.
Pilgrim.
All right. Trying to drop this one real quick. He's going to use his Vial of Enmity on him.
Okay.
And then move in and attack. These attacks are at advantage because of the Vial. 30
That'll
for
hit.
16. And I think I'll pump a first level smite into it.
Okay.
9 extra. And then one more attack. 19 for 20.
Okay. Or actually, it is going to parry to make that attack miss.
Okay. Okay.
All right. It's your turn.
Yes, it is.
All right. Taskell.
Okay, so 5th edition AOs are if you're leaving their threatened area.
Leaving the threatened area. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna charge in. Bonus action, cast the hammer.
Mhm.
Since they're both in range, go ahead and get that out of the way.
Mm-hmm.
7 damage versus.
Wisdom saving throw from both of them. Natural 20, 19.
So they take half this round.
Yep. So 5.
Our ability scores also at a -6.
It's yours just said attack rolls.
I think it was.
Saves too, but
Oh.
Oh, I mean, the natural 20 succeeds no matter what.
Yeah.
synaptic shock.
Ability checks.
Yeah, attack rolls and ability checks.
All right.
Con saves is what I was thinking. Okay.
Well, saves aren't ability checks.
Okay. Yeah, I wasn't sure if they
Yeah,
qualified. I just saw ability there, so.
Yep.
Yeah, and I saw con saves on the next line. It's like. Anyway.
They also get a saving throw at the end of each turn.
Well, I'll do that in the next turn. All right, so this one is going to expend its reaction to absorb your. Oh wait, no, you didn't use your spitz weapon. That's just your normal hammer. It is going to expend a reaction to parry it, though.
Okay. So bring him over 20.
It makes it 20, and then this golem behind it is going to use its reaction to use Shield Ally, which if there's an ally within reach, it can add 3 to its AC. This is why they work in pairs, because you swing your weapon and like 6 swords from different angles all intermesh to block the blow. Clearly designed to
I
work
kind
in
of like the
tandem.
visual.
Would question on if being attacked with a spiritual weapon would work for absorption through that, but it's your call either way.
Spell 4th level or lower that affects the target. So that's why the shield on anything doesn't work, because it, like Freya's shield, because it, self.
It's not affecting the target.
You're right. So
4th level or lower the targets. Yeah. But I'm thinking Magic the Gathering technicalities where targets is different.
Yeah. Did you? The question is, did you upcast the hammer?
Yeah.
Nope.
Then it does absorb the hammer.
Of course, technically, yeah, that's a 3rd level spell at the moment. Spirit Guardians is 3rd level at the moment. So.
Yeah, I missed the Spirit Guardians when it first came out, and I don't feel like it's fair to make it absorb it on like its 3rd time you affect it. So I'm going to say the Spirit Guardians is safe, but the first time the hammer was used.
Okay.
Because I completely forgot. I could have done that to Nulgrim's Synaptic Static as well, and I forgot.
That was cast at 5th level.
That wouldn't have been a problem.
His are cast, or no, you class swapped out. I still thinking whatchamacallit, Warlock rules of 2 spells, but always cast at highest. Anyway.
Yeah, that is.
That's all 3 actions. So.
All right. Quicksilver Golems. They're all going to heal 20. Their liquid metal bodies begin pulling themselves back together. They're all still going to have damage except for the northernmost one.
There's a reason he's no one's favorite superhero. It's because he's lame. It's aftermarket Flash. Bullshit.
Fast healing and regeneration work different in 5th edition.
All right.
It's a much bigger problem than Pathfinder.
Yeah. Let me just quickly check an effect here. Blast radius on fireball. So there we go. All right. So this one over here is going to fire a fireball. So it hits just Nulgrim and Fergus. What's your spell DC, Michael?
My spell DC is for fireball.
Yeah.
18.
Yeah, it's my DC is 18.
All right, so you guys.
Fergus, you could add +5 to the roll since you're within my aura.
This isn't my fireball they're running into, right?
The one that it absorbed.
It absorbed your fireball, and now it's spitting it back out to hit Fergus and Nulgrim.
Yeah.
What a cunt!
You said dexterity, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Do they have to roll to do that, or did they just do that?
It's
I
because
have 10 too, so that'd be 19.
19, so that you both succeed, so you'll take half this damage.
I take no damage.
Oh, okay. So 12 points of fire damage to Nulgrim then.
Okay. Take for the 10 hit points.
This one's going to move in there, but it already used its action to spew out the fireball. So this other one, it'll get a save at the end of its turn, but for now, -3 again. 3 attacks against Nulgrim. 1, 2, 3, all hard whiffs.
Yep.
Meanwhile, I will. These two up here will be continuing their assault on Thrum. So the first 3 will. Oh no, they'll all have -3 to these. So 1. What's your AC just to make this go faster, Thrum?
19.
19. All right. So first one will hit. Second one will hit. That one will miss. That one will miss. That one will hit. So we're up to 3 hits. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. One more. And natural 1. So we got 2 hits.
I mean, even though it didn't deal damage, I'm glad that the spells gained some good mileage.
Yep. So that's 18 and 19 slashing damage. Obviously still halved by your raging.
Yep, and he's gonna soak some.
Mm-hmm.
Use a superiority die.
And then let's see, synaptic stack. Intelligence save near the end of every round. So
DC 18.
fail. All right. And then that's Fergus.
Okay.
Let's
This
focus
is
fire.
the one that's the strongest, the one that's been hit the most, right?
Yes. Even with the healing, it's still definitely the most hurt.
Time to go throw my axe around again.
Mm-hmm.
Gonna keep sharpshooter on, because why the hell not?
Always.
I'm going to bonus action Hunter's Market as well.
Gotcha. I had a lot of fun designing these golems.
25 to hit.
That'll hit big time.
So that'll be that plus 10, so 36.
36.
Second attack. I will use one more superiority.
Mm-hmm.
So that'll make a hit.
Yep, that'll make a hit. So it's 13 damage.
So 23 damage because it still has the
Gotcha.
sharpshooter bonus.
Gotcha.
That's it.
It's looking rickety, but it's still standing. Ground splattered in liquid mercury. All right. Freya.
I think rampant use of artillery was the correct way to kill these things.
Speaking of artillery,
Well, I don't have a lot of artillery that can hit them and not hit you guys.
It's fine. They got high saves and a lot of hit points. They can take it. Most people haven't even taken damage this encounter.
I concur. Fireball, fireball, fireball. They just keep absorbing them and firing them at you, and it's like a Nasarima moment. Stop using fire!
Stop doing that.
I always remember that moment as in the moment being like, Cope, stop using fire. But then like the day after, I'm like, you know what? I seriously respect Cope's commitment to how this is happening within 6 seconds and you wouldn't pick up on it.
yeah.
And she came from around a corner where she didn't see it.
Oh yeah, no, that's what I said.
I'll never
in
forget
character,
that
in
battle
universe,
map either. I can picture it 100%.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
But I will go ahead and fire at what does more damage? These seek darts or my normal attack?
And you still have the runic mortar too.
Yeah, but that's like a huge radius, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 20-foot radius.
I mean,
40 foot.
Angle it. I mean,
so
if you fire back here.
Yeah, I could. Hit like that.
A 20-foot radius like a fireball, so you could shoot behind them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, artillery.
Yeah.
Fire in the hole.
Let's do that. Runic mortar. Let's see what we better. Runic mortar or molten spray. DC 15 dexterity for both. 5d8 fire damage versus 5d4 fire damage.
5d8. Let me help you there.
Yeah. What is this? What is even this molten spray? Does it set them on fire or something? I'm looking at it.
It's a cone attack instead of a
Oh, gotcha.
Actually, you're in a pretty good place for a cone if you just shift a little bit.
Well, it's weaker. It's weaker anyway, so this is better. Just do it this way.
Okay.
Hammer, Forlorn Soul, Runic Bombard.
All right. So dex saves for them both. Fail. Go ahead and roll that damage. All right. So this one is blown to metally and surprisingly bloody pieces by the blast radius. This other one takes full pop damage.
That'll be my turn.
Ivy.
They can be destroyed.
Honestly, she should probably lend aid to somebody. She's still invisible. She'll go back over here and lend aid to Fergus's next attack against him. Because again,
right.
she can't really do much otherwise. So.
Thrum.
All right, Thrum's going to go large.
All right, on it.
I think I've got this turret still on the sheet for my battle suit.
Put Abby in the gunner seat.
That'll miss. That will also miss.
All right, so he won't do much at all then.
All right. Nolgrim.
All right, Nolgrim will shift. Shift here and attack.
All right.
Yep.
That will hit.
I think. Yeah.
And that will hit.
And anything with a bonus action? No. Okay. Nope. That's it.
All right.
Yeah, if it's something you wanted to look into, Richard, I do still have that turret that Iago was using.
Yeah, I might do that next turn then.
Taskell.
Quiet task.
All right, he summoned another weapon. If you're saying anything, Kenneth, you're full muted.
Just saying, I was thinking of using a bigger hammer, bigger staccato. Since we're letting it affect him, might as well get that out the way. Or resolve it either way.
Oh, yeah. Thank you. Total failures. They're still taking that passive damage.
Use the large fire from the main attack. 18 probably get deflected.
Yep, they are going to tandem block it.
And spiritual weapon, go. 16 probably.
That will miss, but they are not absorbing it.
Has to be level 8. So.
All right, at your turn.
Don't feel like moving, so yeah.
You guys all watch as Taskell's discovering for the first time in your adventure the blender isn't taking effect.
I know, right?
Will it blend? Apparently not.
The first time it's been a no.
It's already.
Ivy's ranged attack is +8, right? Richard, because he's the one who usually plays Ivy.
What's her basic? Sorry.
Her range attack is 8, right?
Yes.
Cool.
All right.
I'm just gonna get set on my sheet so I can just click it when we do.
Gotta shift around here. All right. So this one that's over by Nulgrim, Fergus, and Ivy. You guys notice as it walks, the metal of its body begins to swirl and shift. It's difficult to tell in the dark vision, but it's slightly changing hue from silvery to a kind of murky, caustic green. As with a sizzling sound, its entire body begins to dissolve, and in a rapid hiss pop of a chemical reaction, all of its liquid mercury disperses into a 30-foot cloud of poison gas about its body. So this is automatically killing it, as it's using its self-detonate ability.
I am immune, so I don't have to do anything. Because it's poison damage, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
And
the Axe of the Dwarvish Lords makes me immune.
yep, Ivy, it's not Ivy, Freya is sealed within her suit, so we'll still need something from Ivy and Nulgrim.
Okay, Constitution save, you said?
Yes, Constitution save. Dwarves have it at advantage because
Wait,
poison.
it says Dexterity save.
Oh, sorry, Dexterity save. My apologies. So,
Same either way.
Mhm.
But at advantage?
I think
Because it's
Does the-
poison?
I think you only have advantage on Constitution saves against poison. You're resistant to the damage no matter what. But
Okay.
all right. So it had 82 hit points left. So have that. It's 41 points of damage to Ivy, and then Nulgrim will have that again.
So 20?
20.
Alright. So yeah, that is absorbed by temporary, and then I'm minus 12 from my base.
Mhm. As it dissolves itself. I mean, pretty nasty. If you had failed, that's 82 points of hit damage.
Yeah, for sure.
I can teleport at least one of those other guys over here to fuck them up.
Oh,
All right. Now the other two over here.
no, let them stay where they're at. I could get there quick. And everybody else could be good at range.
That one. Trying to find a good token thing here. There we go. It's going to conjure its own spiritual weapon, aping Taskell, using his own spell.
Why are you hitting yourself? Why are you hitting yourself?
So it's got a plus 10 to hit.
Yep.
I think it'll only do a D8 to second.
Yeah, it's whatever the lower spell level it was. So I'll just roll that flat against Taskell. 22?
I believe that'll hit. No, 23.
All right, so you're still fine. Now you roll the d6. All right, so Thrum,
Yes.
-6 from all these attacks.
Oh wow. Okay.
Miss. Natural 20. Miss. Miss. Miss.
You've got lucky feet one more time.
Yeah, I'll drop
And
one more
miss.
lucky. I feel like trying to avoid.
I mean,
a
you're
natural
still
anything
in your
like that.
temporary hit points. Yep.
That's fair.
Gumbo really wants to hit me. All right, we'll let the nat 20 roll.
Yeah. Yeah.
See?
But I am gonna soak some damage.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not trying to tell you what to do, but I'm just laughing because you're like, oh no, a natural 20. I'm like, you have over 200 health, temporary hit points, and resistance to this damage. Like, you're the tank. You can take it, man.
Mhm.
Yeah, after all
Like-
that, he took 9 damage out of, and I think he's still got enough temporary hit points yet.
Yeah, that's what I'm just
That
saying.
chip damage heads up, Gumbo.
But it does look like they managed to shake off the mental befuddlement.
Yeah,
Intelligent? Wait.
Oh,
Constitution save?
I rolled Constitution, Staff, Intelligence, natural 20 rides. But,
Yeah, the natural 20 will, but I don't think the
Yeah.
other
Sorry,
one will.
so only one of them is shaking it off.
Just so y'all know, when we leveled up, Thrum took the tough feat, so his hit points are now 209 to start, plus the temporaries get him up there.
Fergus. I assume you're attacking. That's what you're pantomiming.
Sorry, I was muted. I'm moving to here. I'm moving my hunter's mark over as a bonus action to this one.
Sure.
And then I'm going to throw my axe. First one will miss terribly.
Yeah, I'll miss.
Second one, 20.
That will hit.
Okay, I forgot to add sneak attack, so it'll be 26, 33, 43 points of damage.
All right.
And that's it.
See, shit like this is why I have no problem throwing creatures with almost 200 hit points at you as troops.
Mhm.
All right, Freya.
Okay. I will move right along forward 30 feet. And then fire at that one right there with my volley cannon. I don't know why I rolled it at disadvantage.
Yeah, but the 16 would still miss. Close to hit.
All right. That's really all I got.
All right. Ivy.
So we established that she can get up on that cannon that you have?
Yep.
Okay, so she'll do that, and you already have the thing
Yep.
on yours, so
I've already got it.
you can roll for it then. Yeah.
Nope.
But of course, it does not make my rules good.
Don't worry, you'll make up for it next week. Thrum.
All right, he's gonna release the grapple and attack again with the chain. That's a bonus action. So 21 opposed.
23.
Yeah, I was thinking that wouldn't be good. All right, now he's gonna swing at these guys. One hit.
One hit. Yeah. Which one are you targeting?
Same one we've been doing the whole time.
All right, so the one. Minus 18. Pass bloodied. All right, Nelgrim.
Keep chipping Tasker. We'll get
All right. He's going to move in. Let's see. That's 25, and how far away am I? Okay. I'll have to double move, but I'll use 15 more feet, and then use my Relentless Hex invocation, allow me to teleport here.
All right.
And that'll be the end of my turn to just zoom over there.
Taskell.
Mm-hmm. Keep the order. 6 whole damage. Good.
Hey, they keep failing it.
Mm-hmm. 19 on the Forge Fire, and
Unfortunately, the double parries will stomp it.
yep,
Otherwise, it would have hit, to be fair.
that's good. I mean, aside from the fact that they get that back every turn, it's at least forcing them to do something.
Mhm.
Spiritual weapon, 14. The big one is failing me.
All right.
Well.
Okay, your turn?
Yep.
All right, so first things first, spiritual weapon. It's Taskell. Oop, that'll hit.
Okay, so it's a D8 plus 5 for damage.
9.
14. So 6 temporary hit points left.
This fucking temporary hit point.
I know, this is crazy.
All right, and now.
This is why I took that feat.
Mhm.
All right, so the first 3 attacks against Thrum will have -3. 1, 2, 3. So I actually think
Nat 20?
natural 20 hit, but the other 3 won't.
Correct.
Other 2 won't.
Correct.
All right. So now the non-modified ones, these are just flat. 1, 2, 3. I think the 23 will
23
hit.
hits.
All right. So all right, I almost forgot to heal him. And this northern one keeps ping-ponging between slightly hurt and then back to full health through the entire fight. But it won't last long now. You guys are all on top of it. Well, but that's their turn. Let's see, did I actually get Thrum down into his actual hit points?
Yes, you did. Oh, he was 1 point down, so.
So I'm making my attacks.
Mm-hmm.
X goal, take a full % off of Thrum.
Second one will hit.
So that'll be 44 points of damage.
It's looking very fucked up now.
And I'm going to step up and stab at it with my offhand attack.
All
As I
right.
pull out my dagger. Let me take off some of these because I won't have all this.
What kind of dagger are you using?
Stab shroom.
Gotcha. That
19.
will hit. The poison damage does nothing but the magic damage.
Yeah, so 9 points of damage because of Hunter's Mark.
Oh wait, actually no, I forgot. Reactions, double, and it'll double parry it.
Fair enough.
You were picking up a lot of noise from your end there.
Oh, sorry.
All right, Freya. The battle has been joined.
Yeah, let's continue moving up. Down this way. Is that in range of their attacks? Yeah.
Yeah, you can step back 1 step if you want to not be there. Yeah, there you go.
Okay. And then I'll just do my attacks and then Ivy's attack.
Yeah,
If that's good with you, Richard.
Yeah, go for it. I'm just going to be back in 1 second. So.
All right. So
And hey, if Ivy hits,
first
she
one on that
yeah.
one in front
that'll
of me.
hit. Oh, actually, that's enough to just kill this one outright.
All right, then Ivy will be attacking the further away one. Man, she crits.
Yeah. So
Ooh,
that does a
bitch.
lot of damage, and someone look on our sheet what her sneak attack dice is.
I was gonna say she can sneak attack. with the tongue. Look it up.
I want to say it's like 5d6 or something, but I'm not sure.
Sneak attack. What level is she? 8.
8.
1, 3, 7. 46.
All right.
So double that.
No, you don't double. Oh no, yeah, you do double sneak attack. I'm sorry, I was thinking Pathfinder.
So
So yeah,
86.
86. Nice.
Ivy just lives up there now.
Yep, bloodied that golem. But that
Just
is
took her legs off.
both of your turns. Thrum.
Oh wow, that's fast.
Yep.
Yep. He Tries to grapple again. Chain
Alright.
attack.
10. Probably succeeds. Yep.
Got him. 14 damage. Then swing again. 22 for
Yep. Can't double parry it.
21. And a 19.
It will parry the 19 on its own, though.
Okay.
All right, that your turn?
Yep.
All right, Nolgrim.
All right. All right. Attack. 25, and I'll pump a first level smite into it. Additional
right.
12.
You bring up your blade glowing with your power. Two of its arms bend its joint backwards to form an X across its back to block, but your blade just smashes through the Quicksilver scimitars and runs the thing straight through the middle.
I'm back. Sorry.
Just in time. You just killed the last one.
Yep. And I think that brings my hit points back to full.
Oh no! How dare you?
All right. As the last golem tumbles down, you hear the sounds in the darkness of it. Definitely sounds like the dwarves are ultimately winning, though with far more difficulty than they expected. How's everyone feeling after engaging these clearly many-featured killing machines?
I mean, I wasn't touched. I'm good.
He could definitely see the challenge of them in the battlefield.
Mm.
I feel like if they're cheating, we need to cheat too and use our golems.
To be perfectly clear, Thrum, we were cheating first.
I'm just thinking, ancient war golem we found there from the war that created the Drow and the Duiger, or however it's pronounced.
Mm.
It's like, yes, let us repeat history. Nothing bad has ever happened from that.
They've just copied our homework.
I think they were there for when the assignment was created.
All right.
Well, they're about to get the biggest damn F of their whole species' existence.
I'll temporarily move you guys back to the main map. You don't need to be on the combat one at the moment. A little role play here thing before we get back into any kingdom stuff. Let's see. Whichever one of you think is leading the army, give me a flat charisma or intelligence check.
I got it. Let me just scroll up to it. There we go.
All right. So with that,
Good.
all right. So of first army, you lose 7 troops. I will, since you succeeded the saves, I'll just say you can choose amongst your units which takes like 7 damage. So you could take like 7 from the defenders, or 2 from the defenders, and 5 from goats. You know what I mean? If you just think about it there. Logically, you're gonna have to take some casualties.
Yeah. I think we'll just take it from the defenders.
Yep. But eventually, these 3 dozen golems, 36 in total, are eventually brought low. There's plenty of injuries, but a lot of people will bounce back. You had those 7 deaths, which is quite a feat considering that you deployed an intercept force of well over 100 men, a little over 200 actually. But the golems had enough intelligence to try to use the terrain, and as you guys all know from firsthand experience, they had many combat features that made them deadly. And when whenever they were cornered and one of their pairs was taken out, they would just detonate themselves. And while dwarves are quite resistant to poison, that was a lot of mercury gas.
Yeah.
Yes, fortunately, we had them outnumbered by about 3-1, it sounds.
Mm-hmm. As you're taking stock of the battle, rounding up your forces again, I'll just remove this. A dwarven soldier, bandage around his head, comes up carrying a purple leather scroll case. And he comes up to you, Fergus, and he says, "Your Majesty," he sinks to one knee. "From the battle, one of the golems had this around its torso."
Oh, nice.
I
A
would take it
courier
and read
service.
what the hell.
Yeah, it looks like a basic purple leather scroll case with just a simple latch on it. Do you open it? You do anything else with it?
I'm gonna investigate it first before I open it, see if there's a mechanism to open it or if there's traps or anything.
Absolutely.
12.
You don't detect any traps, but as you maneuver around, you hear something inside going thunk, thunk, thunk. Like there's a loose object inside.
I will try to open it then.
All right. You open it, and inside you find a rolled up scroll of some sort, and also a loose purple gemstone with a single drow rune inscribed in it. That's just like for a magic spell.
Mm-hmm. Think this is a communication device?
Very well could be. I mean, it's certainly a way to deliver it.
Mm.
It's not just any folder, it's a rock.
What does the scroll say?
Yeah, that would be my next check to see what the scroll says.
All right. One moment here.
It says "Get good, scrub."
Just quickly sure something here.
I had an experience walking through Walmart the other day where this woman was walking by and she was talking to her boyfriend or something, but I overheard her say, and I almost couldn't stop myself from laughing because I thought about you, Richard.
Mm-hmm.
She goes, "The schnozberries taste like," the schnozberries taste like schnozberries.
Wait, why do you think of me when you see that?
I feel like the last time I heard that reference was from
me.
you.
Okay. I was going to say, like, that's a random thing for me to be associated with. I'm like, I've heard worse, but...
I feel like you're always throwing
I have a similar situation where sometimes it's not even things that you say, Richard, but I hear from other people that for some reason in my brain it goes like, that reminds you of Richard for some reason.
It means you're
Anyway.
funny.
Okay, I'll take it.
The rolled up scroll is in actuality schematics. Even an untrained eye such as yours, Fergus, can easily tell that these are schematics for the golems that you just fought.
This seems something that would be weird to carry.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
I was just gonna hold up the stone and ask if anyone knows what this is, and I tell everybody that it's schematics.
Knowledge Arcana?
Yeah, you can do a knowledge arcana. Also, Fergus, if you want to, you can just give me a perception real quick.
Yep. Man, the dice are not friendly to me today.
Mm-hmm. But 15 is enough. While you quickly go over the schematics, down in the corner, like most blueprints, there's like where the person who designs them signs their name.
Mm-hmm.
This one has, unsurprisingly, the maker mark that was engraved in the skull. But there is a second name, not written in Elven, but written in Dwarven runes. And it says Freya Drillard.
Oh, I think these are yours, Freya.
Huh?
Maybe something to do with those. Yeah, I bet it's fucking the underwater bitches again. Because you were brainwashed and probably passed on information.
With the 13 Arcana, this looks like kind of like Ascending Stone, but it's clearly modified in some way.
Time to make a call. See why she's sending you.
Freya, do
golems.
you get an idea of this modification?
If you have Identify prepared, you can do the rituals.
I mean, you don't even need to prepare. You can just do a ritual, I think, anytime.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Artificers can just do it. So yeah, this is essentially the same concept of Ascending Stone, where there's two stones that directly contact, but this one has the spell Mislead in it. So that means that rather than it just being one message each way, it'll create like a holographic projection of the other person holding the stone, and you can freely converse.
Anyone feel like having a conversation?
And it kind of looks like if anybody is to, it literally has your name on it, Freya.
Yeah. Stay close, Ferguson. I need you to do some talking.
Yep, I'm here.
But yeah, that would activate the stone then.
I would hit him with a bless before they do that, in case just to give you a little extra.
Wait, do we still think this is from the Vakazar
Maybe.
wizard?
I mean,
Did you make
it was
friends with her?
it was the seal we saw before.
Did you make friends with her, Freya?
Welcome to Freya's Drouse Flinging Service. You bring them, we fling them.
You activate the stone. It glows purple internally before it begins manifesting an image in front of you for you all to see. And you see a drow seated at a chair, presumably at a desk. Male drow, wearing kind of like a lab coat situation. Has uncharacteristically red hair with shoots of white in it, pulled back in a ponytail. He's got like a monocle with multiple magnifying glasses. He swiftly takes notice as very much a shit-eating smile spreads across his face as he stands up and the chair that he was on disappears as it's no longer a part of the spell. Ah, good. You all got my message. It is enjoyable to see you again. I didn't have a chance to introduce myself before he points to Nulgrim. Nulgrim there chopped my head off.
Nulgrim shrugs.
Anyone who wants to give me an intelligence check, just to try to remember. Intelligence or wisdom.
Yeah. I've got intelligence.
I got your intelligence right here.
Or wisdom if you'd like.
No, I don't. You're gonna have to remind me.
Yeah. Nulgrim, you remember this guy. Same with you, Fergus. Because you guys remember, way back when you were on the Sunless Sea, you just got out of the Aboleths, and you got that, you just cut a deal with Hellspit, and you need to get through a drow blockade. There was a ship that you boarded filled with drow, and there was one drow that was working in a notebook that just threw a bomb below deck to set off the powder reserves and then encase himself in a gelatinous cube.
Mm-hmm.
And he was just really calm about everything. And after you knocked him out of the cube, he didn't even fight, and then Nulgrim just killed him.
Mm-hmm.
Well, allow me to properly introduce myself this time. I am Vavadian Valkazar, High Artificer of the great realm of the Drow. little half bow. It is a pleasure to make the acquaintance officially of my contemporary, pointing to Freya. I assume that you got the blueprints I sent.
Do I know what he's referring to when he says blueprints?
The
Yeah, the
ones
one we found in
we've
the paper.
just collected.
Okay.
Mhm.
I would say, what game are you playing?
Merely acknowledging one professional to another. I may be the foremost alchemical and artificing mind in the world, but even I cannot claim to have all the good ideas. I must admit, I must apologize. I was harsh when I saw your suit when you were attacking the ship I was on. I called it crude, but let's be honest, it was. But you probably assembled it in the field. So I adapted several of the concepts of your suit, and I have put my own spin on it with the quicksilver golems that you have now done combat with. Consider it a demonstration. I, of course, credited you in the blueprints. I may be working for my master Encephalon to grind your empire into dust, but that doesn't mean I'm going to commit high plagiarism.
So wait, Cephalon's relieving the drow too now?
So, do
That's
you have
confirmed?
let me ask you something. Do you have a brainworm?
See, told you.
No. Taps his head. All me.
So what exactly do you get out of the end of the world?
There are harder maladies to cure than death, my contemporary. Consider it a design challenge.
No, you're going to have to run me through this one. Because even if you're immortal, you still need a world to inhabit, and I'm sure you prefer this one over the chaos of whatever happens after.
No, I find most people quite unsufferable. Which is why I was savoring the opportunity to have this conversation. I've already been receiving reports of some of the new designs you've been putting out. It's nice to know that there's another mind for artifice pushing the boundaries. Most wizards, it's all magic swords and demon portals.
Well, good designs don't just come out of your head, they come out of necessity. So if you want to waste a lot of money and kill a lot more drow, keep sending them.
Oh, I'm sure that's what the Queen will request soon. Consider this just a probing attack for the near future, I suppose. I do admit I'm going a little bit beyond my orders by just sending this message. But I do so look forward to testing some of my newer designs against what you have. You are already familiar with some of my other handiworks, the cannons upon the galleons that now encircle the Sunless Sea, black powder weaponry, which I have begun supplying Drow and Encephalon's forces with. You are making strides, I won't deny it, but come now, my colleague, you must admit in the technological arms race I am clearly winning.
Last I counted, I destroyed 3 of your suits.
What? These? Paltry infantry models. Not elite shock troops, just standard line holders. I wouldn't be sending the best that I've built as just a message. I fully expected you to destroy them. In fact, I would have been gravely disappointed if you failed.
That's a remarkable waste of resources, but okay.
When you have an ocean, do you trouble yourself over mere drops?
Well, I will be looking forward to seeing the unique and creative way in which your arrogance ends up being your downfall. But when that does happen, I want you to remember this warning. An empire is not built on one man alone.
How very dwarven.
Anyways,
So-
kill you later.
Smell you later.
You cut it off?
I'll wait and see if he has anything else to say.
Shit,
Yep.
where's the off switch?
Just for the sake of exposition.
Mhm. Built for one empire. Sorry, I'm backtracking the conversation in my head to make sure his response makes sense.
Okay. You're good.
Yep. How very dwarven. Perhaps I shall offer my own amendum. An empire is built upon the backs of many men, but it is always designed by one. My innovations have already pushed my people farther than they ever have before.
Tell me, who designed Dammerhall? Was it me when I built the college and started manufacturing golems? Was it my friend Nolgrim over there when he started producing his troops? Or was it all the infrastructure that Thrum created? Until you realize that great lesson, you truly have no hope of beating us. But I don't suspect that's something you'll realize anytime soon, considering as you've put your brain and thrown that into the lot with the apocalypse squids.
It is both precious and disappointing, Freya Drillard, that you believe you fully comprehend of all the forces allied against you. You see your little armies that you've put together so far, and you believe you're in control. But there are forces such as myself that are in control long before you were even born. I look forward to how our game progresses. It'll be a great, fond memory of mine for the many millennia.
For the record, I
that
don't,
comes
and I wish you
future.
would stop.
Very well. I shall leave you to your brooding then. You know how to contact me. And then he cuts the line.
Yeah, he's way stupider than he wants to let on.
Yeah, I got
Also-
that too.
Also, I'm putting the name in the chat for you guys. All right. Enemies vanquished. New information gained. Faces put to names. It is a couple minutes early, but I feel like this is probably like the best.
Yeah, this is a really good stopping point, to be
Yep.
fair.
Yeah. It's, yeah, we couldn't get into too much unless we have anything to role play out.
Yeah. I mean, if you guys want to role play something, I'm not going to stop you, but
I just don't know anything that would happen like right this second that
mhm.
can
Something
think
to
of it.
discuss maybe out of character is I did have that idea of we have the Sunless Sea right there. We could bring in like maybe some reservoirs and try to flood some of these tunnels when units come through to lead them into certain areas we want them in.
I mean, we could certainly pull the water, but it depends on the. Well, I guess we could. It's an engineering project either way.
Mhm.
Yeah,
The harder
something maybe
question is,
when
how do you get the water out?
Yeah.